That leaves Chichu isolated. Already getting caught up. Of course, has the heal, but it's not going to save him too much. He's also been pinged. Well, that makes it a lot easier. An opener into the site. Loiter taking some close ground, and with the weaponry still in favor of this attack side, they're going to re-aggress alongside the ultimate. It is a slam dunk for BBL, who will take map number 2. Both teams winning their map choice.
Yeah, we got to
or
say...
opponents, I should say.
We got to say sorry to anybody out there who was hoping to see a blowout in favor of EDG. All of the traders put in their place from EMEA, and now BBL have a chance to take this 2-1. They've got another opportunity, but this is almost tragic, Tom. Sunset feels like a strong position for EDG, and when you consider how things went in map 1, this could have been over already. But now, it's all the way to the 3rd map, isn't it, Degon?
That's right, it is, Mitch, as BBL find their form at the right time, battle back, and as Tom said, it has been wins on the opponent's map choice, which has been so fascinating here, given how much form EDG had coming on into the current map rotation, as we bring back our analyst, Kukuka, and Big Time. And y'all, you talked about it. This is a Turkish-made map here on Ascent. BBL held up to that expectation.
Yeah, I mean, we had questions, right? EDG picking a map that they've previously been banning. So whenever a team does that, you have to ask the question of, are you actually that well prepared on this map where you just kind of scrim demons a little bit? And this is what it felt like. They come in with this kind of interesting looking comp, you have to say. It's something new and something different, but I don't think they were really fully prepared for what BBL were doing, and it felt like they were always behind the 8 ball a little bit.
I also think that for this side of EDG, if you think that you're playing in with a sub, you are not very sure of your chances, that can also be a way to prepare yourself for what you're trying. Ascent is a very important map, and is the kind of one that you want to get some reps on, and this kind of situations do not happen often.
No,
yeah.
They definitely do not, as, again, a huge, huge victory here for BBL, the 3rd qualifying team out of the EMEA region, taking down the most recent 3rd place finisher at Masters London. And when we think about the gameplay here for EDG, we talked so much, and you always have to, with EDG, about Kung Kung, who started off hot here, but then cooled off.
Yeah, I think it was 7 kills in the first 3 rounds, and then slowed down dramatically. I mean, I think when you look at this first half in general, it was 7-5, but that's not counting the fact that EDG got a pistol and a bonus. Yeah. Really, they were massively outplayed on this half. They found it hard to attack into that double sentinel, especially without a jet or a raise, something to help break past these lines of defense. So just left stuck static there, and that's not what Kang wants to be doing.
Yeah.
I love to see also that LaRock is always putting himself in a situation where he might not be fully comfortable, and I like to see him play in the deadlock, but you also need to think about the comfort of the rest of the players. You see the Rose with the Sova and the impact that he can have in scouting those plays, especially something that we saw in the attack in that second half. But the same goes for Kreven. When he's on the defense and he's with the Cypher, he's in his comfort zone. So as we said, yes, it started up with a 4-0 deficit for them, but they bounced back immediately, 7-5 at the end of the half, and then close in the map like that.
Yeah, let's take a look at the highlights from that last descent. That brought us to 1-1. As they've all said, it was a hot start here for EDG. BBL battled back, pushed it to 7-5, and really never felt like EDG got their footing in the second half.
Yeah, it started off, as we're saying, super strong. Kankan, as you were saying, Morgan, getting this first kills. Honestly, props to Signed as well. Like, playing a Phoenix in this map against people that shoot this hard must not be easy at all. But to me, again, I have to keep highlighting LaRock. This is such a risky thing that they do, because in so many occasions, it is at the cost of how incredibly good he is. It is good to see that he can have a performance where he can put a 29-11 because you are LaRock. He's done it with so many agents in so many other maps, but at some point it ends up taking a toll, because only one person can be proficient with every agent, and that player is in Paper Rex.
Yeah, hopefully we might see them later on today.
For now.
Hopefully. But I mean, I think for me, this game really is just a story of EDG overcooking a little bit. You know, I respect trying to be able to pick your permaban. It gives you tremendous flexibility and surprise factor in the veto. I think BBL would have been very surprised to have to play this Ascent, but ultimately, to me, I just didn't feel like EDG were well prepared enough for everything that BBL were able to bring. And in that second half especially, BBL should struggle on attack a little more with that Cypher deadlock.
You think so, yeah?
It's you know, it can be good in that post plant, but it's hard to get into them against a team that in theory should be able to stop you. They should have the chamber on a line. They should have Sage Slows in your face, and EDG just weren't able to find the answer.
Do you remember I was telling you about, oh, Rose in map 1 not putting in the numbers, and this is something that happens a lot. Think about the mid-round calls that we were seeing throughout that attack, the rotations, the change of plans right in the middle of the round to have the effect on your opponents. All of those, most of those must be coming in from Rose. We hear here a lot of screaming coming in from BBL, and you can tell that they're giving their everything.
Yeah, and again, I just think about that last round where you get 2 picks early on for EDG. It's a 5v3. BBL able to execute their way around that one, and that's part of it. I think not only were the calls great, as we see the picks that Sign was able to pick up there, but it was also just the guns were online, and EDG kind of fell asleep a little bit more. You love this from the youngest team here at EWC at 19 years and 10 months average. BBL showing the resilience, and this is what I wanted to see from them coming into the tournament. Be fearless. Don't worry about the stakes.
Yeah.
The more that you're just like, hey, this is just a game, we're just loading in the lobby, doesn't matter who's on the opposite side, the better they've been throughout the year, and they show it yet again here in their opponent's map pick as well. It's just a short memory, and then you're back on in as the competitors as they are.
Now, I said it at the start of this match, I want to see them be disrespectful to EDG, because that's when they're at their best.
Yeah.
They're at their best when they
sportsmanship.
truly don't care who they have to play against. This is a young, exciting squad, and they believe they can be the best in the world, and I think they showed it in this map too. And it's also, we have to say, great composure, bouncing back after a map 1 that really was theirs. They had everything they need to win it, but they couldn't. Those games are often the most tilting, especially for a young squad, so respect for the bounce back, and who knows what's going to happen on Sunset.
I'm never scared about them like feeling the pressure because they're playing against bigger opponents, because that has been their entire year. They knew that the moment that they made it into Tier 1, they were going to go up against all the big names in EMEA, making it to the first global event as well at the beginning of the year. That is something that they're already over. I want to see if now that can translate into getting some wins.
Well, we'll find out here in our third map. We're going to Sunset, everyone. Don't go anywhere.
A while.
You are watching EWC 2026.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Paris for EWC 2026 Valorant. Our first series is going all 3 maps. It's the champions of China against the EMEA winners of Kickoff, BBL, and EDG. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time. And we're going to Sunset. This was something we were talking about in our prep of like, Sunset? Like, it's back in the pool? Is this for real? And here in the first series, we're going to it in the decider.
It's exciting to see this map back in the pool, and it's always interesting at how it affects these teams, right? A lot of teams like to play veto chicken with it, where no one wants to pick it, but you leave it to flow through the veto, and then someone has to second phase ban it. That's how it normally goes. You'll see that a lot as we move throughout this tournament. But I love both of them really played chicken all the way to the end, leaving it for this map 3, maybe not even thinking it would have to go here. And now we have to see what they've got prepared so early on in this tournament.
Bear in mind, right? EDG chose to be Team B, right? So they had ultimately the decision to choose if it was going to be whichever the last map was or Sunset. They decided to go for Sunset. Now, for BBL, when they were BBL Pacific, they were very successful with this in this map once they turned into the double duelist, which is something that they brought into the region. And, you know, it was a perfect time to be super good with double duelist. So great for them. Now, the question is, of course, compositions, because Sunset is a map where, for example, we saw a lot of breach. Yeah. And we are not seeing breach anymore, almost anywhere by, you know, but maybe some team here and there. So I wonder what compositions we're going to find. Also, with the new Sentinels added into the game, with all the changes that we have seen, it's going to feel like a very different Sunset.
That's true. I think, you know, the likes of Vice, maybe in a veto, could be very effective on this map. I think there's a lot of different ways you can take this. I'd like to see a Neon and a Raze. I want to see aggressive double duelists. These are aggressive
I'd love to see
teams.
Neon, yeah.
I want to see them really embrace their own character and their own style of Valorant. Both of them here are able to play that double duelist very, very efficiently.
Teacher was playing Sage on Ascent.
I like Sage on Sunset.
Me too.
I'd be down for that a little bit. I can't lie.
Yeah, so just a couple of stats here. These are some of the least played maps, obviously, for these squads since it's been out of the pool. I think it's only
Forever.
in the teens.
I think it's the maps that has been out the most.
Right. It's only in the teens played here for BBL this year. They've got a 56% win rate. On the opposite side, EDG has played in the 30s. I believe it's like 36 times. And they've got a pretty nice 69% win rate here so far on the map. So although it hasn't been played as much, it has been proficient here for EDG as we see the players back on stage after the team talks, trying to shake off the cobwebs and get into that decider victory here, because you want to kick off this tournament with a victory, given the fact that it's GSL. You've got 2 other teams in your group. Starting off with a win gets you on out.
Yeah, one thing I want to highlight for this map 3 is in situations like this, it really falls down a lot to the IGLs. You can't have any prep going into this. This is a new map. Neither of these teams have shown it since it was last in the pool, of course. So now it's all about how can you adapt in that game. You know, I think the IGLs take the large amount of that pressure, but it really should be committee. You need your duelist. He's the one in front. You have to know, how are they adapting these setups? This is all about a test of how are you moving on the fly as a team here.
I was going to disagree with you, because I was going to say you should know that for your IGL is going to be hard enough as it is to try and interpret all those things. So what you have to focus on is doing your job as good as you can. BBL props out not only the deadlock again, but some Viper, and EDG decides to double down on the same composition we just saw on Ascent.
That's a little bit crazy. Like, okay, I see the logic. I see how the maps can be similar, but they are...
It's very similar for both of them if you look at the interpretations. Yes, like Kreven is not going to be on the Cypher, but technically Viper is a Sentinel. It will allow them to have way more control, especially over the mid part of the map.
And I worry a little bit for EDG here, because they struggled to attack into the kind of double Sentinel hard stop there the BBL had, and now it's going to be hard yet again.
And also, think about all the orbs and all the ultimates that we've been seeing. BBL have to be on top of that starting from the defense.
All right, here we go. Decider map of our first series of EWC 2026. It is BBL and EDG both getting 1 win, but looking to close it on out. To call it, let's send it on over to Mitch and Tom.
Thank you very much, Digon. Yes, it's time to get our 3rd and final map underway. BBL and EDG trading out each other's maps, and now we're all the way to Sunset, Tom. This will be the end of the series. The ideas that they're bringing, I love what I'm seeing on EDG. Again, very similar, as the desk was saying, to what we had on the last map, but this is a very unique composition when it comes to this map. Over on BBL, a little bit more standard, I guess, with the kind of double Sentinel, having that Viper there, quasi. But exactly as I think Degon said.
Who?
The host guy.
That guy.
The one who was talking a bit more than he should
seems
be.
nice.
That guy was talking about, and I'm not sure if it's right, but that it was hard for this defensive side. It was hard for EDG against this defensive side, against, albeit a little bit more of a stopping power comp, and a lot of it was Larocque on the deadlock, which they're keeping here, which I'm very happy about after the performance he just had. Let's see if EDG can crack the code. Already picking up the pace towards this B site. All 5 players in main.
Sensor waiting for them on the other side. Net thrown out, but after taking the orb, they have ground to a halt. Of course, with a snake bite down, you don't really have a choice, but there are already multiple players here walling off the cross, but Larocque, he hasn't stopped. He's still rocking around the clock with everything. He's got 3 players, nearly a 4th through the smoke as well. 2 HP remaining and a chance to maybe even ace the pistol round. He will do it. 2 aces already, and we're only in the first series.
If this tournament was a blank space, he's come in to write his name. The ink is permanent. Unbelievable stuff from Larocque. Perhaps the deadlock main from now on out. He looks unbelievably comfortable. And here, the utility to slow, I like that they threw the net with the snake bite. Sometimes you'll stagger those just to delay, but the idea was catch them and they instantly have to pull it out or the snake bite's going to take them out of the round. And then you can spam in. Didn't catch anyone, but it delayed. And as soon as the snake bite fades, Larocque finds everything. 5 kills under his belt. Stepping towards that ultimate in the very early stages of the round could be very impactful for this squad. But the start from EDG is kind of what you'd expect. Slow as they play for the extremity control and fight for those orbs. As Kukuka said, this is a big part of BBL's defense. Will be denying those orbs from finding their way into the hands of EDG when this composition has so many powerful ultimates.
Already seen them manage to do an immense amount of damage with just pistols, so they do have to be careful. However, this time, Lover's Rock, Rose, Larocque even with an extra little bit of spam. He's now 1 away from his ultimate, and Rose is on the climb to get towards his. BBL 2-0 comfortably. And now we wait to see what EDG have got prepared on their attack.
Well, this is definitely where things are set up decently for EDG. They found a few orbs onto Signed already. You can see he has 2 deaths, yet 4 orbs, which means he's been finding some around the map in each round. Now you move to the next one. If you can just find those orbs again, or get one and get the kill in the opening, there is an opportunity for that run it back online, post-plant or pre. Reminder of score of the previous map, 13-7 is where we ended. It's not the score right now because we wouldn't be playing anymore, so keep that in mind.
He is telling the future. Probably not. Kankan already managing to things into a decent position already, though. Lover's Rock being set up with an operator might not necessarily be expected in this round. Creven gonna put himself into the corner. That's as easy a kill as Creven will get all day. However, for Lover's Rock, this becomes a bit more troublesome. His reposition, though, might just be sublime. Oh, the timing not quite working out for him, but he goes out for a little bit more. Kankan with a 4K. Not quite the ace of his opponent just moments ago, but it will still bring them the round no matter what.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, a round is a round for EDG, and Kankan being online early on is exactly what we want to see. He said it in the last map. There were moments where he was a little quiet. You think back to the first map. Second half, he was a demon. In the first half, he was good. I mean, it's funny because you'd almost say he was quiet in the first. It was 15-15. He was doing his job. He was helping out in the push.
Right.
But for him, that's awful. That's dreadful. That's the worst day he's ever going to have. The guy's got such a high ceiling that seeing him anywhere near the floor, and his floor is still bang average. The ceiling is so much higher. Don't worry, BBL haven't had this one just yet.
Premonition.
The future.
We do it backwards. We tell you who's going to win the round, and then we show you it. Even though in the last round it was wrong. But, you know, you can't always get premonitions right, you know?
That's
You
true.
go to a Mystic Meg, and sometimes they'll say, you know, are you missing someone with the first letter of their name being M, and then maybe the second being M, and you go, no, unfortunately, he's still here. You didn't see where that was going, did you? Thanks, Mitchell
really
McBride.
Yeah. Well, Tom's just bodied me to start out this round. That's fantastic. First pick, first blood, me. As we move towards the A site, a little bit of a split here from Chichu. Spike's bent back in the other direction, but it's Chichu cutting off the rotations. No one's challenging him from the left side as well, but Krevin's got the angle on lockdown. Now moving towards A. These players have lost the second leg of their attack. The smoke that went down on short for a moment kept that player back, but now we see him walking forward, looking for the battle.
There they are.
Running out of time. Well, so many angles left unclear. One of them is still that backside. They're doing well to fight this back, though. Nobody doing a fantastic job, but there is still the judge in the darkness, sitting, waiting, biding his time. Lovers Rock is going to clean things up. A costly round, and there you go. See, I told you.
That's
Premonition.
It. This is the problem sometimes, Tom, when I'm rubbing your crystal ball. I see the future. I get visions, of course, but it's like silhouettes in the fog.
Which is better, mine or Clinton?
I haven't. I'll have to do some more research on that.
Due diligence.
More groundwork there, and we'll get down to the nitty gritty of it a little bit later on.
Is rapid with the comms. He's definitely getting into this one. Of course, we know that this group's going to be tough. EDG have already shown that you give them even just a little bit, and they're able to start coming back. And Lovers Rock, he just loves to stick around just a little bit too long. Maybe that's what the name actually means, because he loves to be a rock, stay in the same place.
It could be, yeah. I would say it's almost definitely what it means, Tom.
Good. I'm glad we're in agreement.
So, let's never ask him. Way to go about this. Drone destroyed. They haven't seen LaRock in that close corner still. Paranoia has gone out, but still they're not pressuring him. He's behind the wall. Now the vision comes back, and he's ready to fight. Finds himself 1, 3 in the end. This guy, unbelievable performance all series long, and he's done it again, man. You just can't doubt him. They hit that Paranoia to deal with him, but the Viper Wall gave him enough room to just wait it out.
It's just, he's got some of the shakiest aim, but like it's so accurate in the way he does it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Insanely high sense.
Most of the stuff he does. 9-1. As I said, we're in the first series of the entire tournament, and this man already has 2 aces. So I think it kind of tells you the form that he's come in. One of the brightest sparks in Turkish Valorant. Still incredibly young. There is a massive career ahead of LaRock, no doubt.
Ahead of this whole team. Well, most of them.
Wow, that's just brutal. wow. There was no
Angel
need.
lasted a long time, actually, to be fair.
No
Rose,
need.
Rose could probably go to at least 40.
Rose is like 23. Like,
Ancient, man. He's up there with you now.
Oh, yeah, no, we're definitely the same age. I'm not like 8 years older than him.
What you're not knowing at home is Tom did just shed an actual tear. I've just seen it hit the table.
No, that's sweat from the bald head.
We'll polish it in between the series. Well, EDG picking up pace towards the B site. Run it back is online. Need to break that wall first, and then Phoenix is going to come sprinting through. Delayed the play, though. It's delayed them way too much, so the guys in market, they get isolated, dealt with, deleted, and now Sign doesn't stand a chance. The Hunter's Fury honed in on him. Another round for BBL.
Yeah, they were taking so much damage. I think it was genuinely through their own problems, because they put a wall down to section off the angle they could get caught from. Then they just get absolutely owned by the snakebite, holding them into the corner, and then they start getting spammed out and obliterated by Rose. 5-1. This defensive side looking impeccable thus far from the side of BBL. And we're yet to see some of those superstars on the other side really wake up to the table. Chichu was one of the major reasons they were able to get through map number 1 with a victory. He's yet to get a kill.
But remember, he was missing, and then he was found in a big way.
On map 1.
I have to hope that it's the same story here. And not a more tragic ending. A little bit of damage traded out. This isn't a strong round for EDG, so of course you're going to send your headhunter to try to find some picks. Chichu's got the rifle as well. As you said, slower game for him, but they clearly still believe after what they saw in the first map especially. Second.
Not ready yet.
But the problem is they're pushing in. Still a minute on the clock, but they have to get past Loida. Paranoia is going to buy time. Smokes are online as well. That Paranoia was almost way too late. In fact, it was. Jenny managed to slip past. Luckily, though, Rose is finding 4 people in A main. Big picks across the board, and Chichu,
Really?
I really didn't think he'd put the rest through, but now it looks like a great idea. He's tagged Lover's Rock to 28.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of desperation, but if they can make it work, they can make it work. Lover's Rock desperately low, but they've only got 25 seconds of the flank coming through from LaRock. He does go down eventually. Chichu with no friends left to play with. And the cross is definitely not going to be easy. He's got 15 seconds. If they just tuck in the corner and don't just wait for him to plant, there really is nothing he can do from this scenario, and that's exactly what Kraven does. It is another round onto the board, a little bit shakier in the middle. But again, we're seeing the step up of the IGO. We mentioned it. He has a couple of bad maps, and then you see what this man could do. An impactful 4K. And I believe that, I don't know if it does or it gets him very close. He might be on the same kills at this point as LaRock.
Yeah, there you go. 10 and 3 from Rose. And you look at the first map, even the second, the guy was only killing people from behind. Yep. He was struggling even then, missing a lot of shots. Like, it looked messy. And we talk about the value he brings even when that's the case. Oh, that's brutal. Concon looked like he was far enough forward. Great sidestep coming through from Loida. And he's made the team P up top, Lover's Rock, finding one in mid, and Loida's even re-smoking this. They're not going to expect him to be here. That's not an ideal fight for Lover's Rock. They've just gotten the man advantage back into neutral territory. B-side certainly looks under threat. Kraven's trapped. He's been taken by the Collector.
It's back. Leave it even, but Rose once again strikes LaRock in the corner. They're walking backwards into his angles as if he needs the help, and nobody. Oh, he's got to try and sidestep, and he will. Plant available, but look how fast the flank is. I don't even think he's going to have any idea that someone could be here so soon, and well, not quite the cleanest, but he had so much time to find that kill. 7-1 from a very close first map that could have easily gone BBL's way to what is looking like a dominant finish. 7-1 in the lead, and I'm yet to really see anything that makes me believe EDG are going to turn this around.
Well, that's the crazy thing. Again, we talked about EDG with the stand-in. That definitely knocks them down a peg. But for BBL, in my mind, you're looking at the first map slipping away like that. I think it's already over. They bounce back to a relatively dominant map, too. Like 13-7 is nothing to turn your nose at, especially not against EDG, especially not on their map pick. And now they come into this one, and it looks like Rose has got some performance enhancements. Like, I don't know how he's bounced back this quickly, map to map. Same stage, same setup, but a different man, it seems. 7-1 now for BBL. EG struggling to get off the starting point.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the next game we see them, if they might go back to the comp from the first map. Obviously, that was clearly based on just it being a stronger map for them, but we're yet to see the signed Phoenix show too much. But also, it's more so the other players. Like, Chichu was great when playing Omen, has struggled elsewhere. Gianni as well. Haven't really seen too much from him on the Omen. Maybe a swap will have to happen, and well, it seems like speak into existence. Chichu's gone again. Lover's Rock, okay. He has been caught. His mid pushes haven't had too much success. A little bit hit and miss. Dead though. EDG have got it even, but you look at the ultimates that are online, and they've got to be careful they don't end up walking into LaRock.
Finding his way behind A, hoping to catch this player on the right side of mid, but there's no one there. It's a very passive play from LaRock, the sensor. They could have walked past it, but they didn't want to risk taking a fight with it online, but it does give the indication that maybe there's a bit of trouble brewing for Loida. So he goes running up, takes that space, and now regroups with his teammate. A nice adaptation to being surrounded like that. And now they can pincer from both sides on the retake. That's very early.
I think it's just to have it primed and ready. Oh, it's not pretty. He's caught the ult. That's not ideal. I like that from nobody. He's even going to break it free, but instead now Loiter strikes. It's a quick, well, doubles technically, but it's more so just the impact that it had. Another resurgence in a round that looked like it could have gone the way of EDG, and instead they survived with 3 players.
It never happened.
That looked like a really good idea from EDG. The openings were there. The TP for the flank up, the split through mid. I do, and I understand why they break the sensor, because again, if that player peeks and you're stood there, you fire one shot, you are dead. Both of you, you're getting stunned up and gunned up right after. And so instead they break it to run through. But that's when immediately Loida goes, oh, they're behind me. Well, I can't just stand here and wait. I can't even go spawn to retreat. Gotta go forward. And, well, it worked wonders. 8-1. I'm having to scrub my eyes to even believe what I'm seeing. BBL winning this series was on my cards. It was possible, but not like this on a 3rd map as well. Yeah. Still plenty more rounds to play with, but EDG need to find their footing extremely quickly because they are slipping, and it's a long way down.
Denied by the early utility once again. Weaponry is not great in this round. They have some rifles to play with. They've found some space for Kankan in mid, and the Rock playing on the edge of this smoke is definitely risky, but a risk that pays off. No trade for him just yet. He's still in this smoke. They still need to clear him. Surely they're not expecting him to be anywhere near this close. Instead, he goes swinging out. A 2nd kill in a spot that looked like a death sentence. And now the operator honed in on the angle. Gianni with a 1v3 clutch, and he stands no chance. BBL continue their run, and it's looking like it's going to go all the way to the finish line.
I can't believe this. Every round I say it, and every round I find myself back here again. How is LaRock getting this much impact? He seems unkillable in the first few fights. Everything's working for BBL. Rose has entered another gear, even with LaRock showing up. He's still just one behind him. And for EDG, everyone's gone missing. Chinchu is putting out belters, 4Ks, everything you want. Kankan's had more than a few rounds where he was dominating. And yet, this attack side has been quiet. Even as hopeful as I was about the comp, they've lost 2 through the wall. And there's no stopping BBL. The push continues and pushing up to 10.
That round took about 15 seconds. That was one of the fastest rounds I think I've ever seen. That was just a full all-in fight. And they dominate it. The initial from Loiter, and then they just continue their aggression. And this has always been the most terrifying thing with BBL is the moment they're confident, it's not like they then go, okay, now maybe we play a bit passive. No, they keep running and gunning. They keep taking riskier and riskier plays, and they all pay off. 8 rounds in a row, looking for an 11-1 defensive side half, and unfortunately, it feels like EDG might have used all that energy in map number 1.
Hunter's Fury sent through here from EDG, a desperate attempt to open the round, blind fire, nothing found, and the judge is still in the corner. The smoke up from Loida. He's seen 2. He knows there's danger. That's a risky res with the judge still in play, and they'll find themselves more than a few. A 3 versus 2. After that initial fight, the ult at least sidestepped. LaRock won't be finding one, but he will box them in with that wall.
They at least know he's behind, but looks like him and Kraven are almost setting up.
This all has
the join. Lovers Rock. Ult popped, but I think finally deciding it wasn't worth the risk. Know exactly where their opponents are, and
what are they gonna do?
Even them just drone to try and clear some of these closer angles. The problem is the second player is ready for the contact, ready for the swing, and in the end it is utter domination. A singular round. It was only their bonus round that they lost. Every other round in the half has gone the way of BBL.
Hard to really believe the series we've had so far. For BBL, Ascent, like we said, EDG picking it seemed like a mistake. You're coming up against the Turkish team. It could have been what sent this 2-0. And honestly, looking back, maybe EDG would have preferred that. Lose the overtime and save yourself the embarrassment here on a final map known to be good for them in the past. Obviously, it's not been around for a while. And it looks like a lot has changed. The Viper wall is so annoying towards B main. It's burning utility or burning the clock as you take main control. The deadlock seems to always be in the right place at the right time. And then Rose and LaRock, I don't know if we need to check their PCs, if we've given them access to the internet in between these games, because they have shown up on another level.
Well, yeah, I think there's been nothing missing from this BBL performance. Got players popping off across the board. You've got utility perfectly placed to just create disruption. I think we've had a load of paranoia assists. Flanks have been perfect. I think all of the Viper utility as well. Like, okay, maybe not the most kills Kreven's ever going to have, but every single time they try and do a faster execute in towards the B site, his snakebite just delays, and then they have the operator there. Like, think about the kills that Lovers Rock has had. It is, okay, my teammates have held ages on this side of the map. I'm now here with an operator just to end it. He has been just as annoying as everybody else, and unfortunately, it just feels like there's nothing to break through all of that utility on the other side. There has been no player that can dive in. The Phoenix hasn't worked. The later lurks, even though we have seen aggressive rounds, at times, they can walk into Konkan's angle and seemingly eliminate him. It has been uncharacteristic, and yeah, sure, we've got the caveats. We know that this is a squad that has weaknesses, but I don't think we ever expected it to just be this dominant.
Not at all. On any map, to be honest. Like, coming here to Sunset, it felt like even with the stand-in, we're going to have a fairly even to favored fight for EDG. That timeline is utterly ridiculous. 11-1. LaRock 17-5. Rose, more importantly, 16-4.
Well, look at Loiter. 12, 5, and 16 assists.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are paranoia, by the way. It's not like, oh, they walked through a smoke and I got... No, he's actually
got a few of those, but it was a lot of paranoias, yeah.
A lot of paranoias in the early setup of the round. Now all they need is this pistol. That's it. Pistol round. It will be EDG having to force... Well, I guess even if they win the round, they are going to force. But yeah, no matter what. And they will need a flawless defensive side.
Watch your eyes!
Oh, they're certainly not in a rush. Towards Konkan now. The slide forces him back. See the confidence, not quite there to stick around, and as Rose takes one, the sneak up by Signed at least evens the playing field somewhat, if not for the fact that Rose was in a known position, right? He closed the door. They know that he's here, but this fight could change the game. It could bring them back towards B. He won't win it at least to start. It's a staggered fight as you can see Chinchu just running away. Rose in the back lines, but no one left on the site now. The plank can be found, and now look at the whole team trying to deal with Chinchu. They've crunched him to leave Signed alone, and guess what? They know where he is, or at least where he was.
Unfair ask, but it's a necessary one. He needs to clutch this. He's at least managed to get the first. Looking to try and maybe just defuse this behind the box, or at least bait them into thinking that he is. Already, though, it's being watched, waited for. The X1 goes his way as well. A chance for the stand-in to pull off the clutch, and Signed will keep them in the map. The coaching staff pulls off a massive 1v3 and gets EDG their second round.
Well, I'm sure he's had a lot of game plans they attribute to victories, but that one right there, that's got to be the highest impact he's had. Crazy round from Signed. The super sub sneaking up inside B main and taking a 1v3 across the line. And yes, there were mistakes there from BBL. They got lost in the sauce a little bit. But still, for Signed to capitalize on those opportunities, he set himself up as the top fragger now for EDG, but one good round's more than enough for anyone to do that.
I want to see whether they can pull this off.
I don't know.
It's the smallest of lifelines, but nonetheless, it is a lifeline. It's something to play around. It's a hope that they can maybe do something in this game. But realistically,
Deploying drone.
Gonna have to be quite the streak of rounds from here onwards. Of course, for BBL, no reason to overinvest or put too much into this round. You have such a mammoth lead. A chance, maybe, to put some pressure onto Sign.
the one. They're still ready to fight up close. And in return, they've landed one of their own.
No.
Lovers Rock and Kreven, the ones to come out ahead. The Pistols not dead in the water just yet, it seems. And a very late lurk from Rose outside this A
They've gone
side.
into spawn.
Gonna be a crunch, but it's
They're going
Concon
round.
that you're up against. And he's found the first. Rose a little ahead of the pack. This wraparound, I don't think has been heard just yet, but
They
they
figured
know
it
it's a
out.
possibility.
Yeah, no, they've cleared every other angle that it could possibly be, so they know exactly where they're going. Gianni's already going to drop the spike, and now the only last man standing is Kreven. He's still going to make this even more costly. Still, to win this is going to be difficult, but an isolated fight, time ticking down, and Gianni will save the day. It's not a round they should have needed a savior, but they did.
They need many more as this game goes on, if it goes on. Feels like a matter of time for BBL, and look at how much they were able to do here with just pistols in their hands. It's a scary prospect for EDG to struggle this much, to be down by this much. We don't just need to see them win up against this full buy, where, by the way, they're coming in with a lot of disadvantages. We want to see them dominate. They're putting credits on the line. 3 players unable to rebuy in the next, and ult online here and now, though, for Signed. The problem is looking at the map. It seems he's on the wrong side. And if they can bait that out, be a big piece removed early on. That was dangerous. Concon's left on 5.
They'll at least get the heal. I mean, he gets to live to fight another day. Nobody trying to just jump spot, but do look like they're going to try and split back towards this B site again. It is being watched by Gianni, and Dart at least might give the game away, but Paranoia leaves him in an awkward spot. Counter to try and slow down the attack, as he does have a teammate in tow, but Kreven's aggressive positioning is going to make this problematic. In fact, it's going to end the round in his tracks.
That was the main way back through for EDG. They were bringing Signed into position so he could play in the spawn and pop that ultimate, run back through, lead the charge for the team. He gets popped like that by Kreven, threading the needle through market, and it's done. You would think, because they invested so much. And still with the Phoenix ult, it's a 2v4. You're not winning this round. And thankfully, they're walking away. I got very scared seeing them closer and closer to that B side, but a save needed.
Like at this stage, you're 11-3 down. I wouldn't have even blamed them that much for just throwing into the wind. And like they won a 2v4 in I think it was on Lotus. Like they're so far out of this map that I feel like even just letting them get to 12 feels like a death sentence. And
the problem here, Tom, is that like I agree with you. I agree with you entirely. Like I could have seen a world where they do that, and I wouldn't damn them for it. But when you call the save, you can't go looking for picks. What use is a pick for you now? Oh, they've got a little less money. They can buy so many times. You can't. Why would you do that? Anyways, that's a big mistake. And EDG now have 1 rifle carried forward for a round they didn't even try to win. That's tough.
very little. Stand-in has an ult and a rifle. Kankan, I think, will be forced to play just a headhunter into this round, and the opposing side have everything bar their ults. That's the only thing that's currently an advantage for EDG, and, well, just look at the paciness of this early move. Kankan, he needs to win this battle, and he does. That's a gun upgrade, but, oh, I was going to say an immediate trade, a labored trade, but it does the job nonetheless.
First part is he instinctively jumps to dodge the spray, but it meant he couldn't TP. So he ends up getting caught trying to hunt down that rifle. So we go 4v4 for BBL. Those are the rounds that they've done extremely well in, and it's been threading the needle. It's been sneaking up like that. Rose, the one to do it this time. He's caught nobody. He's trying to embed in a nice spot. They're going to do the same on the other side of the map. Chichu's walking up. He doesn't expect Larocque to be sat crouched on that corner. That is a scummy play. The ult for Sign will at least find one, but they're on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, they're going to find him. That's the problem. His ult's going to take him right back to where he was, and now Gianni is all that remains. He's just seen a player die on the other side, and because of that, he's going to start rotating towards the B site. But as of right now, Spike is going back the other way. He doesn't even know that he's currently been played. Maybe that's one for free. That at least gives him the knowledge. That's a lot of value found. What was a 1v3 to maybe break the wall before it's truly formed, but it will eventually forced to go down. With 2 players waiting on the other side with traps set ahead of him, he's giving them information with every step he takes, every move that he makes, and eventually Larocque is waiting. 13-3, a dominant final map for BBL, and one that will take them further in that upper bracket.
After how close that first map was, Tom, I didn't know what to expect going to Ascent, knowing that it's a home ground for every Turkish player and certainly every Turkish team out there. We knew there was a chance for BBL to win. When they took it dominantly, I didn't even think that that would carry over to this map because we're leaving Ascent, we're going to Sunset, we're going to Comfort for the old EDG, and now they were decimated. BBL warming up into this series and looking red hot in the end. Isn't that right, Dagon?
Absolutely a huge upset victory here by BBL, the youngest squad at EWC, pull off an upset against the 2024 champs, against the 3rd place finisher over in London. A fantastic result here, as a big one here for EMEA, and the woes for China here at EWC carry over from last year. It is a 2-1 victory for BBL. Welcome back, Dagon here alongside Kakuka and Big Time. And this 3rd map was a shellacking. It was not close. BBL came out firing. We're wondering what would be set up here in Sunset, and it just didn't seem like there was a lot that got going here for EDG, whereas BBL came prepared.
It was very difficult for them to attack, right? With just the Phoenix, you're going up against the Viper, against the Deadlock, especially a Deadlock. There's Larocque, and he's playing like he was playing today. I was saying about taking a toll, but if he's going to be playing like this every single time that he plays Deadlock, so be it.
Yeah, he was fantastic today. I feel like the game plan was rock solid from BBL, where it wasn't from EDG. I think the composition lacks a lot of punch and a lot of ways to break those angles. It's great if you can get into the post plan, but they couldn't. BBL understood what they had to do, which was stand right in that choke, be right in front of that smoke when they come out. There's no way for you to really break through there, and it's over before it even began for me with the Age of Select.
Yeah, I would say rock solid. You know, lovers rock solid. How about La Rock Solid there? I mean, that was you, man.
I kind of like that last one.
Yeah, you know, La Rock Solid.
I kind of like that one. But I think that for BBL, for Larocque, for Lovers Rock, for all of them, even for Loita, the aggressive positions that we were taking, Morgan, you were speaking about disrespecting, not having fear against the opponent or their names that you see on the other side. And that's what we got from the entirety of the match. And this is the BBL that I want to keep seeing for the rest of the tournament. Let's make it semi-final, grand final, all EMEA, 4 teams, 4 EMEA teams in top 4. Sorry, right. I'm Delulu.
Well, we'll be back to discuss it here. Standing by right now is Jenny with one of the members of BBL.
And I'm joined with Rose. Congratulations. That was a 13-3, by the way. A bit of a rough start, but all in all, you guys should be very proud of yourselves. Could you talk us through being able to grab back that momentum after you lost that first map?
I mean, like, I will say like that, but my team mates are not gonna accept that, I'm pretty sure. But we lost first map because of me, I think. Like, I just threw so many rounds, like, because I wasn't focused. And, like, we lost, like, in overtime, I think. Yeah. And, like, that was the main thing, like, what we lost. After that, we just did a good talk each other, when, like, in the timeouts. And, like, I was just, I mean, like, talking to myself, like, I have to be, like, more chill, you know? I was just thinking about the map, like, on the game plan too much, and it wasn't good for them. Because, like, they are just shooting very well, and I have to shoot very well also like them. Because I just need to give some, like, reaction, what are they doing on the map. And, like, that's it. I think, like, when I'm back, we got the, like, momentum, you know?
You did. You got the momentum. You closed it out. And although you're being a little harsh on yourself, I want to highlight that this is the second time we're seeing you guys on our international stage this year, but the first time we're seeing you going up against EDG. How has that been like for you? What's the prep been like as well?
I mean, like, every region has a different game style, to be honest. And, like, they are just shooting very well. And, like, if you are playing against them, you must win against them. Like, you need to shoot, like, you need to be focused, like, for your aim, not, like, only your brain, you know? Like, except me, like me also, because I'm the IGL. But I think we did it today. Like, we did our best about that thing, like the aim. And we won. That's it.
You did.
Sorry for that. But they are a good opponent about that. Like, I think they are just shooting very well, very well. And as I said, if you want to win against them, you must shoot way better than them. Sorry.
Wish you did, because you were able to close it out. But I feel like hearing you as that Turkish team talking about gunpowder and just being able to take these fights mechanically and individually, what do you think allows them to excel so well at being able to shoot and aim the way that they do?
I think it's about the blood, like from us. I mean, like, I have 4 guys in the team and in the game. Sometimes I don't need to shoot. Like, maybe I'm not talking about Lotus. I have to shoot also, like against them. But like, we were always winning like that. I'm just trying to be their brain when they are playing. They're just shooting for me as always. Like, they're my arms and the brain for the team. And but today, if we need to, I mean, like, if we wanna win, I have to shoot also. And I think I did my best for today for my teammates. And thanks for them to keep hyping me up after first map. And they're my boys. That's it. Yeah.
And then looking forward to the rest of the tournament. I mean, we're looking at 100 Thieves, RRQ going up against each other. Is there anyone in particular that you're seeing here at the event today that you're going, I really want to play against that team?
Like our group or totally?
Literally everybody.
Okay. I want to play against Paper X because I love them. And I think this match is going to be a banger because they are shooting very well also. And like, our game style is similar, that's why. Paper X, of course.
Well, thank you so much for your time for the interview. Congratulations on your first win here. We're going to be heading back over to our desk. Digon, take it away.
Thank you very much, Ginny and Rose. You could hear
so sweet.
It was very, very wholesome from Rose, saying that he's kind of like Voltron. I am the brain, they are the arms. When they don't have brains, I will do it for them. And it worked out really well there.
I think that he's always been very real about that. Yeah. He knows that he has. It's not that he is a bad shooter. Trust me. If any of us were to go against him, he would completely obliterate us. But he is very aware that I like this bond that they have because it's very real. He's like, they hype me up. That helps me be in the mental state that I need to be to guide them through these things. And I think that we could definitely see that in Sunset. We know that so many of those plays are simply reckless, but actually, Rose lets us know that it is not. That those kind of things are thought of, and that is the way that you get the momentum going for those crazy plays. When they are working, you are unstoppable.
Like, they're young players. I do think when momentum goes in their favor, they can really start to snowball. That's when you see them start to stand up, really give it their all there. So I think the fact that they were able to get the ball rolling so early, Rose is able to bounce himself back mentally. The boys help him with that. That's exactly the formula that BBL need to follow to go deep all the way through EWC.
Yeah, a huge upset in terms of the standings. It is a 4 seed here in Group A, defeating the number 1 seed, BBL Esports over EDG. Currently right now in Group A, happening on Stage B. 100 Thieves up 1-0 over RRQ. They are currently in the second map, but a big upset, and it just feels really good to have that, because we know that EDG has the potential to bounce back. We know if EDG have the firepower and the championship mentality, but for BBL, you're not sure how they would have reacted if they lost the first series there.
Yeah, especially because the first map was so close.
Oh, yeah.
If they would have lost in Sunset, it would have been completely heartbreaking, because they would have left this day thinking, oh my God, the first one, incredibly close, could have been a 2-0. And could have been a 2-0 is the worst thing that you can think after a match. The worst. Like, that haunts you for years.
Yeah, definitely. Again, a huge win for BBL. We're starting to prep on stage for our second matchup.
Ooh, I've seen this one.
A great one. EMEA has already won. They're going to win no matter what. In this next one, it is KC versus Vitality. We will set that one up in just a bit. Final thoughts here on EDG's run here in the first match.
I mean, I think it's important that we don't overreact. I think people like to do that. Desks like to do that quite famously as well, me included. So, they are coming in with a sub. You have to lower your expectations a little bit for EDG. And it wasn't all bad from them. I think they showed great mentality in that first map. And there were signs of life in map 2. I think maybe with a few compositional adjustments, things like that, a couple of tweaks, and I think they still have a very real shot of making it out of this group.
We're in a moment in time where EDG is looking to re-establish themselves as the leaders of the Chinese region. leaders that they were for a very, very long time.
Right.
But right now, with all the teams catching up, even with us up, they are going and thinking outside of the box, thinking, okay, let's explore how we want our ascent to be. Let's explore what we're going to do with Sunsets. Yes, these were losses, but they're not bad losses. All of these things are learnings. You come in from Masters London, then you go into this. There is absolutely no better prac out there than coming into a tournament and do what they do.
Right. The practice environment of a match
Exactly.
can't be replicated. So
sure.
your back is going to be against the wall in their next matchup against the loser of 100 Thieves and RRQ. And speaking of VCT China, you think about the teams that have been popping up from the region. Obviously, Dragon Ranger's been there before. XLG is currently up there. We had Wolves just a couple of tournaments ago. So EDG reestablishing themselves with that substitute in Signed coming on in, who had a lot of good moments.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault there over in Sunset. It was Chichu there
I wouldn't
getting the
highlight
pie.
him to be like, oh, he is the reason they lost. Like, they just lost because it was with us up. I like the mentality, as I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you take the names off, you say who's the sub hero in EDG. I'm not sure you're picking Signed out, to be honest.
You wouldn't even know who's playing some agents. You'd be like...
Exactly. So I think that's all you can ask for when you're having to come in at late notice. And I think especially as a sub, the first game you're having to fill will be the most difficult by far. You're having to get used to the match environment, playing with the players. So I think moving forward, I'd like to see him step up a little bit more. Of course, he's the sub, but I don't think it's impossible, is my point. I think EDG still have potential. There's still time. Let's not panic yet, EDG fans.
Yeah, I've got one more thing that we were excited about coming into this game 3, or this map 3, which was Sunset itself. I feel like we barely got to explore it.
Yes. I wanted some rounds. I wanted some back and forth. I wanted some crazy things. I honestly expected much more from Chicha, but I think that also the composition that BBL was bringing was so abrasive from the defense. There were very little spaces in the map that EDG could claim for themselves, that they could even establish presence. It's not even having control. It's like showing it. You would show a finger and you have a bullet on it all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And if not, you will shoot, and then someone will appear from a corner and shoot you in the back.
Yeah, that was a very, very fast Sunset. A dominant victory here for BBLs. We take a look at the highlights one last time as a huge, huge victory for the EMEA squad. They will be up 2-1 and 1-0 in the group stage. One more win in their group gets them into the bracket stage. A great start there for BBL.
I think for me, this BBL team, if they do manage to make it out of the groups, will be incredibly scary. I think they have that young underdog potential that makes it hard to prep against them, makes it hard to plan, and really... because they're so momentum-based, they're so capable to just show up on any given day. This is not a team you'd want to draw into.
And it's difficult also going into Sunset right now. You do not know what the rest of the world is doing. Yeah, you might have played like a scrim here and there, you know, of course, because the map is coming back and teams have to step up and play the game. But of course, nothing is set in stone. Still, we need to see what is going to be the strongest, and time will tell with that.
Again, loved that round there. That was the adjustment that BBL made when EDG kept pushing on through C, pulling out the judge and stopping it. And that was the surprising thing about the series. It was equal throughout. Never did you feel like either one of the teams were overpowered, didn't belong, until the final map where it kind of felt like a compositional difference on a map that hasn't been played as much, especially for EDG.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it for me. I think EDG, I just want to see them go back to the drawing board. Just standardize. So I know I said I wanted spice in the comps earlier.
Nah, don't standardize. It's not that way, but it might be some affluent from that, you know? Like, don't listen to him.
No, I just put Kanga on Jet, please. Listen to me.
With that one, I agree.
Yeah.
Right?
Listen to that one.
Because they tried to cook a little bit with the compositions, but we saw especially the battle op that he was using earlier was just so perfect, right in front of the face of people, still getting the kill. Again, you lose that. That's so many credits that you end up dropping there. As we're going to drop into a short break as we set up the stage for our French matchup, Vitality and Carmine Corp, right after this.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play. Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Esports World Cup 2026 presenting Valorant, and it's time for the Paris Derby. It is the blue versus the bees, KC versus Team Vitality. This is going to be a great one. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time to get you settled on in for this, as it is the two French organizations about to do battle. Currently, different forms. However, KC qualifying in that second EWC qualifier spot.
Yeah, I mean, look, Bea, I have to ask you about this, right?
Okay.
You are our resident
I'm ready.
EMEA.
I'm ready.
How and why are KC here? Because from what we saw from them in EMEA, it didn't look like they were going to be capable, no?
So the story for KC, I would say last year and also especially this year, as you're asking for stage one, they weren't able to close a single one of the matches. Funny enough, most of those matches were the kinds where you're like, oh, they could have won.
Yeah.
And in fact, they always won Haven. It's like the one map every single time. It was like Death, Taxes, and KC picking Haven on this stage. But they just couldn't. They just couldn't do it. At the end of the stage, they say goodbye to Eng, who didn't take a lot of time to find a new home, but we see a new reinvigorated KC. They decided, starting with moving narrate now on your screen onto that duelist. Someone sent me a message and told me, Bea, you need to watch what's happening right now in EWC in the qualifiers. I was working, I was like, hang on. I stop, I go in, and I say KC winning on Haven, and I'm like, this is no news. And I'm like, oh, wait. What is Narrate doing? And actually swapping him to the duelist after having a chat with Avis as well has helped everyone. Avis for first, not have to IGL from a Phoenix. Not good news. And also Narrate, he told me that it's something, Avis told me that this is something Narrate wanted to do, going back into a flexible role, yes, but it is much more aggressive. Whatever it is, KC made it to here with it. For Zacius has probably the worst 2 months of his life. The amount of work that you put in to a team that is already losing, like you have to work so much more hard at trying to bounce back from things, and now you're the head coach.
Yeah, 9th, 10th for kickoff there for KC, 11th, 12th for that opening split. So a good little haven here for them to bounce back. But a tough setup here to bounce back against you. That's this super team of Team Vitality, who just recently achieved some of that potential over at London Masters here, Big Time.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pushback on calling this team a super team, but I think those people are ridiculous. This is a super team. Look at the names on paper. This is a roster that was built to lift trophies, win championships, and yes, they haven't quite managed to do that yet, but we know the potential is there. We saw them come into form, really pick up steam towards London. Is EWC where they managed to lift that trophy?
I think that is a toxic trait. Staying with someone for their potential and not for what they actually are is actually a very toxic trait. So we'll have to send you to therapy for that one. But I do agree. This should be a super team. It's like it's still in the making. For the first part of the year, they were willing to, quote unquote, like sacrifices, let's say, to wait for Sayonara, and man, has he delivered. The kid is absolutely insane. But at the end of the day, you're saying that, people were saying, oh, this is not a super team and whatnot. They did win against the EMEA teams, and DRG. Is the rest of the world that was a problem. So technically, with time and with the right course, this could be a super team. I still doubt some of the decisions that they've made or some of the paths that they've chosen. Like, I think for me, this is a team that should have abused double duelists. With that word, abused. They should have destroyed the region with the names and the shooters that they have, all the experience. This is the kind of team that you should be scared of.
Well, that was what I was going to say. I feel like you have so much firepower here. It's more about what are the processes towards decision making in those split-second moments? Like, who's taking the lead there? Who's really leading those calls? Because when you have that many superstars on this roster, it does make it very difficult to try and triage how things work in those difficult situations.
It is very funny that you say that, because throughout stage one, that was the conversation. We were showing some comms from Vitality, and Yampi was asking permission to make a call, like very politely. Of course, this is Finnish. So that was the big question for this team. When you have players that are so experienced, how do you lead them? Like, how do you put someone on in front of them that they can respect so much that they bend to them?
All right, well, it sounds like we're ready to go on stage here with the map veto and see what we've come up with here. So split banned away by KC, something that you wanted to see there. Fracture being taken away. So what are the first two picks?
Haven, it's no surprise. This is what KC like to do. They like this map. So, I mean, look, I think it makes sense. I think they can maybe bank one map. I think this could go 2-1 either way at this point.
Haven Lotus, so. It looks like a Giant X Vito.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel like no team taking either risk. We are seeing Sunset floated at the moment, though.
I was gonna say it is a possibility. Breeze is gone,
but this
and Vitality
is where the
choosing.
Vito chicken happens. Yeah,
red card for Vitality.
So
red card for Vitality. Where is my red? I need a red card. We're in the middle of the World Cup. In all the World Cups.
The interesting thing, I think, in a way, is that this is probably the most standard default Vito. These are like probably the three most popular maps here, to be honest, that we have. Everybody can kind of play these maps. Obviously, KC going for Haven, no surprise. And Lotus has been so good for Team Vitality. 3-1 there in London, only losing it to Leviathan.
The thing is, like, when I think about also the last 3 maps that they were left, I think that we were not seeing Sunset because even if Breeze was open, I think that that is also a good possibility for Vitality to be playing onto that. We do see some of the players here, but definitely they are getting ready to jump into the game. For Haven, you might be asking, well, if KC has played it so many times, obviously people are going to know or by now how to play against them.
Sure.
But there's so many times in history where we have seen a team being incredibly dominant in a map and people not being able to figure them out. For the side of KC, is the reinventing themselves that they need to keep working on. For the side of Vitality, they have proven in the past that their preparation can be above many of the teams. Is this going to be the case, or is KC exploring a new frontier for themselves?
I mean, I think going into this game, you have to have Vitality as the favorites right now.
Oh, yeah.
Just from what we've seen.
Wait, who do you think is
recent.
favorite, Tegan? The team that just went to Masters London, or the team that didn't win a single game in the stage?
I don't know. I saw 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th in their most recent splits. And a split isn't just like a hot run. That is a long form.
Morgan with the hot take.
But it's all about the form. It's all about the magic of the tournament. KC qualified when nobody expected them to qualify. We know how fantastic the Blue Wall are, the fan base there that will be coming down to support in Paris if they can get to play on that stage.
And do not forget, they are not obviously alone in their group. We would love to see EMEA on top, of course, but because we have 5 teams from EMEA, 2 of them have to be in the same group. So we have these 2 and PaperX and Energy in the same one, and only 2 of those teams can make it.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. They inherited the title defender slot from Team Heretics as the 2nd place finisher in the first split, so they're the ones that end up getting slotted in to another group with an EMEA team. And unfortunately, it is with PaperX and the reigning world champs in NRG. That just means how much more important this match is.
Do you remember when last year I said, when we moved on to playoffs and we were like, Jordan, I said, oh my God, anything but EMEA versus EMEA. You guys need to stop. We will win. It doesn't matter how many things you put on the way. We will get the trophy again. Don't look at me like that,
We'll see.
Look, Sip is like there and looks at me.
It's a long tournament, and one thing's for certain is an EMEA team will lose their opening match here today. One of them will be moving down.
Morgan, like you're giving so many points to Tyler right now.
Look,
you're gonna lose the favorite twin
I gotta say
diploma.
how it is. When it's EMEA versus EMEA, yes, one progresses, but one has to fall here. It's all about, can KC find that upset? Can they do the impossible and upset their rivals in a French organization across from them as well?
I love that. Thank you for that top-tier analysis. When 2 European teams play against each other.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
This is why they hire me.
On my side.
This is why they hire me. This is why I'm here.
Vitality just came out, as you saw on your screen. They had a pretty big chant there, pre-game chant to get themselves hyped up and ready to go. You can see on your screen now they are primed to go up against the blue wall.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not so familiar with this KC, you have players of all calibers. You have Narrate being back from Americas. He didn't like it there.
Yep.
We always wait.
Sen City was not the city for him.
It was not the final destination, but Paris can definitely be. For Suiket's just such a storied player, and in my honest opinion, the best shooter in EMEA. It is beautiful to see him shoot, and I really hope that we get to see it today because we're going to need it. And also talk about the young guns. We need to talk about Levin. Last year was an absolute journey for him, actually play in with some of the players that are now in Vitality back in BBL when they were international. You see, guys, there's always, everything is linked. It's like Love Actually, you know? So seeing him and the journey that he has taken, having to take different duelists when last year he struggled so much moving in between different agents after being a brilliant Jet, is also the question of what kind of 11 are we going to see, what role, well, what agents he's going to be playing.
Yeah, big time. Your boy Doshi9 now joining this roster here.
Yo, I love this guy. I was with him over in when we were playing in APAC, playing in Ascension. We don't win Ascension. He gets picked up by Boom. They have a hot and cold year, ultimately finding his way now across to Europe, and people are really starting to see this kid's potential. I watched him play many, many times, and I felt like this kid has the sauce. You know he can deliver in those big moments. I want to see a pop-off game from Dust9.
A direct quote from Big Time. I taught this kid everything he knows.
That's true.
So Doshi9 has
so you don't claim
Big Time's
one thing, you claim everything?
reputation to hold
He'll
on.
agree.
KC and Vitality getting ready here as we're waiting for Agent Select to start, and here it is. Drops on in as we kick things off in the three sides of heaven.
Sayonara on the
Waylay.
Waylay. Yes, Waylay. Time to Waylay for Sayonara. I really like the fact that they're going for the double duelist. This is literally what I was saying, that they should have abused domestically.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting look. We've seen a couple of teams try out the Waylay on Haven with varied success. I think KC sticking to their guns here with that double duelist, Phoenix, Neon. KC has always been a team that loves that Phoenix, especially in the Eng days. This is truly what they're known for.
So for the side of Vitality, we have seen them explore different double duelists in this Haven. I do think that the Waylay is very similar to the Jet. You can create a lot of pressure and always come back, just be a little bit more aggressive. It gives you versatility. So I want to see how that affects it versus the Phoenix, because of course with the Phoenix you have the ults, you have the wall, you have the flashes, very important. But since we do not see any Vipers also on to play, I wonder how much of the aggression and the open field fighting we're going to see between these two teams.
Squads waiting to lock this one in. Again, it is the Parisian Derby. The two squads based here in France, and maybe not favored to make it out of the group. NRG is the 4 seed in this group, but we know how good they can be. Paper Rex, #1 seed, moving on forward. And the exciting part about all this, Vitality allowing this pick that KC are known for here on Haven, saying, come bring it to us.
Yeah, but they also have all the preparations, I was saying. Like, do you really want to play it? We've seen you a lot of times. There's only so many things that you want to do. And it's almost a given that they are not going to be changing their composition. Also, trial and testing. If you love an underdog story, you have to be cheering for KC here, definitely. With their stories, with the players, with all that they've suffered, and the way that they have had to reinvent themselves. But we could not blame you if you want Vitality to be the one. I will say, for KC, the way they ranked this, because I had a chat with Avis, as I was saying, and technically he put Vitality as the easiest one in their group, because the other two are Paper Rex and NRG. And at least you do know Vitality, you know?
Yep. The group of death kicks on off. It is the blue versus the bees. KC versus Vitality on the call. It's Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, Desk. Into the action we go immediately as Aves. Okay, quick little face down into Sewer here on Haven. He's going to be spotting out 3 players. Has to quickly backpedal away. Slowed up as the pings are going to be coming across on both sides. Sayonara trying to swing around into the back of sight, get some line of sight, but it's going to be Durga taken down as the kill feed explodes in favor of KC. Looking for a little bit more, and Yampi cannot escape. The spike now stranded. It's just Chronicle, as good as he is, trying to bail them out of a 1v5.
You would feel that this is nigh undoable, even for a player of Kron's caliber. Looking to put that Sheriff to good use, but Levin going to be checking the corner. Quick peek in it.
3 players dead to 1 shot from this thing, but the spike going to be recovered. Trying to backpedal away, Sugetsu quickly trying to pivot, and there's the backstab. Dust9 in pole position, gets himself a 3K to start things off as KC will get a flawless pistol win.
Yeah, this is just a good quick rotate from KC. I mean, they're in position nicely. Dust9 tucks himself into the corner, has the smoke there as well to kind of cut him off. Takes some shock dart damage, but gets 2 big kills from that position and can never be flushed out by Vitality. So, options. Really curious about this Vitality composition change as we go along. This is the comp that Foot destroyed them with in London. I mean, absolutely wrecked them. So, kind of see that they, not exactly the same. There is the Cypher instead of or the Killjoy instead of the Cypher, but very, very similar ideas with how you can utilize the waylay, but Durka going to be shut down by Sugetsu through the smoke. A little bit more damage being done there, and just going to be thwarted from any long C attempt.
I have the spike.
Spray down with the Bulldog, good enough to reroute Vitality just a bit. Let's see what DOS9 can do.
Happy to play this one patiently, know that they're going to be very favored. Even if they don't know just quite how much damage they've already been able to deal. Sayonara, quick little tap. It has to take that refract out towards safety. Taps here from Avis, just barely. Not connecting on a Chronicle. Would have certainly had him dead with that Ghost. But now it's curveball out in the garage. Narrate instantly able to find one, but will be felled. Chronicle able to take him down and look at them. Try to recover some weaponry here. And Profik, bounding his way up in a window, is able to displace DOS9. So suddenly it is a 3v3. The Vandal recovered into the hands of Profik, who's still at full health.
Still chance now.
Swing around the back here from Avas. Some consideration going to be lent to this, but it's going to be Levin able to find the first. Sugetsu looking to try to hold his own, gets that elimination. Profik now having to do it all. Would be a 4K, and already this is an immense amount of damage dealt here by Vitality on their eco round. Marshall, fast lane, sprint and slide available. Profik trying to see if that rewrap has come through. Levin just staying tucked away. The C-long cubby, so the smoke will come in. 13 seconds remaining. He's going to have to make a go of this, so the scale forward now from the Neon is going to be coming in. To fully commit onto this plant in back sight. Not going to push the issue, just wants to try to catch him off guard here, but it's going to be Profik dead. The Marshal able to find the one shot, the Vandal will be recovered, but it's one player surviving in the anti-eco.
Yeah, just able to work the map here, even after it looked like Vitality was going to be kind of shut out of a lot of this map, but a lot of the start of this. They're able to get those kills, get those gun upgrades going, and then Profik, who, you know, he's one of those players. Everybody on Vitality can absolutely go crazy on this team. Like, obviously, it's been talked about all year, right? A super team. Profik's a big part of that. I mean, I think back to the way he was playing Brimstone on Fracture, even though that gets banned here by Vitality, he's an incredible individual player in his own right. That 3K there, almost into the 4K. Very, very close. So Vitality already feeling pretty comfortable in his KC. You're going to be coming into this bonus with only a couple rifles. There is a Bucky floating in there for Narrate. Durka.
A chance to do quite a bit of damage, but once again, Durka going to be slowed down to the start of the rounds here when he really wants to try to up the pace. Isn't going to get picked, though, so still 5 players strong.
Still seeing a lot of early congestion for some of the like smokes and some of that early main space by KC, at least with just the spams to try to keep Vitality honest. One of the things I really like about this Vitality comp is using the waylay to get info, to cause distractions, to make it hard for your opponent to guess. Are you actually just diving in to get info? Are you actually using this to clear space? Are you using it to sell fakes? And on the entry, Levin takes down Sayonara.
Tries to work his way in there, and Durka just cannot steady that aim fast enough. Abbas is able to find him, and now suddenly it's a 2-player advantage. Weapons to be recovered. Profik just TPing into the back of hell. Now trying to slowly scale his way forward out of this position, and he just managed to kneecap Levin there while trying to take down that recon dart, but a lot of this pressure now onto Yampi's shoulders, and he is able to bear the weight. He kills found in just right now with a Bucky in hand. Spotted out. Who should fall? No, Chronicle able to find that one. Blazewall to be situated, a curveball to be sent through it. At the ready, and for now, Yampi forced away. Talk about the previous round being damn good for Vitality with the damage they found. Now the very much same could be said for KC. Yampi will be able to get the 4K, get the round on the board as they deny the bonus conversion, but it's, again, significant damage dealt by the team with the lesser weaponry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, very happy that you're able to get the clutch, but this entry here, Ava is able to step to the side into the cubby, avoid a lot of that initial util dump, finds that big kill. DOS9 there goes for the TP, try to catch Vitality off guard. Does not work at all. Yampi, Johnny on the spot, hyped up behind us. The big one. He's able to keep that in check, but look at Levin. Knows the econ situation. All but one player. Be one tapped to that outlaw.
Recon to scout this one out. Profik unable to get away from that one fast enough, but Dirk is there on the scale forward. He gets himself on the board for the first time alongside Sayonara, who's able to find Narrate. Levin only able to peel back that one kill. Chronicle will continue to have a little bit of a rough go of it here, but Profik now forward into that smoke, trying to scale. Ends up eating some damage, but Sayonara is taking names. He's looking for another one, but Sugetsu beats him back. Gets this into a 2v2. Very winnable now for KC. Yampi forward onto the site. The Hunt is Fury. really going to be a consideration from this position. Onto the one in the window. It's the back pedal from Durka playing this one safely. Yampi will be able to find that first fight, and Durka challenges in to take down Sugetsu. So 2-2, Vitality managed to tie it up.
Yeah, and a nice, simple little execute here. It's been a lot of pressure over on the A site now that we've gotten into some of the rifle rounds. 2 rounds in a row. This time they just used the TP from Profik. Sure, he gets spotted, but that's okay, because this time your entry duelists of Durka and Sayonara get in there and get the job done. Clear the site, gets a little scrappy in there. Some good punch back from Sugetsu, from DOS9, but it's just not quite enough, and that's really what this comp is built to do, just make it so hard to track what's going on the entries. Again, you can use the Waylay to get some info, sell some fakes, and a good kill for Sayonara.
Shut down there. Damage suffered in exchange. DOS9, though, the scale forward is going to grab that gun. Finds himself a second as Yampi will fall. Damage suffered, has to backpedal away. It's going to just be taking a panic ult out to safety, back into the B site. Immense amount of damage dealt by him, though, and this all is to play Sugetsu forward. Spotted him to one. Durka, a double take. Can he find this kill? No. He ends up getting sat down. Sayonara able to find the one, but DOS9 just rescales it mid. Finds that elimination, and suddenly KC right back into this. Profik, the one that needs the clutch.
So sharp early.
In the previous round, does not have that to try to commit into this to just even recover the spike.
Timing on this might just be bad. He just missed Aves coming up through a lobby.
Forward the spike now recovered. Aves continuing to work his way in onto this flank. Profik, can he swing the corner fast enough? The answer is looking to be no. Does man forward towards that A connector side, though. Site sees that things have been cleared out. Smoke now plays the plant to come through. But is he going to be ready for this very fast scaling from Aves, who still has a full kit available to him? Want to give away his own position, though. He's going to try to play this quietly, but Profik snaps on for the headshot. And now it's just DOS9, and he will fall as well. A massive clutch. Vitality bringing these rounds together one after the other.
Oh, and man, you can see Narrate a little frustrated with that one. This is such a great open. DOS9 able to scale forward, unchecked through window. Gets a couple huge kills, but Profik again. So steady in this moment. Nice turn onto DOS9. Takes him down. They getting by the skin of their teeth, and you gotta kind of wonder here as KC, have you thrown some of these early opportunities on your map pick to really set Vitality back?
3 in a row. Obviously, you're still playing this one pretty damn close at the moment, but now the crunch getting ready to come through. Holding forward, and Yampi's able to get Levin on the retreat. Durka takes down Aves on the front lines. He's up and over, top of the box, and DOS9 is 6 feet under. Gets to in right now, who have to try to save, to hold on to these weapons. The ult economy looking good for KC, but the actual credits sparse at the moment. These weapons will have to be retained. Vitality might just go on the hunt. Either way, they're moving up 4-2.
I'm loving some of these set executes we're seeing from Vitality with some of their ults in play. We saw it early with Profik, using that to tee up the duelist to make the players on A side uncomfortable. Here, another simple, setup. You throw the Convergent Pass, you throw the Hunter's Fury, you're rushing in behind that with Durka, and they just absolutely knock it out of the park. So I think you're seeing a lot of the early ideas from Vitality and their coaching staff being implemented very effectively by the Vitality players. And again, nothing too crazy, but it's working. It's catching the KC players in moments where they're not ready.
It looked like Vitality was a bit asleep at the start of this one, but they have certainly woken up across these last 4 rounds. All of them now built up consecutively. That's an operator lost in this for KC, who might be needing to call a decently early timeout into this map. Trying to get the course correct before things really spill out of control.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think you might want to talk about this just a little bit. Sure, it is your opponent's attacker side on Haven, but it really is starting to feel like you're letting some things slip through the cracks. And especially with the ults in play, you've got Levin's ult, so you've got the overdrive, you've got an ability to kind of have a game changer where you have to buy down a little bit here, but they're going to let it ride.
Still on the table. But for their number to come up, Sugetsu just going to go backpedaling away. Aves going to be spotted. Looks like they have heard this Cypher, just pretty privy to where he would be located. So But a spam over, but connection not to be found. Good damage off the shock there. Sinar does get tagged down to 39 on this entry, but now a 5v5 for the post plant. The Hunter's Fury are going to be opened up to try to catch somebody here on the side. Narrate trying to rush his way forward, but Hunter's Fury is able to find the one. Sinar are going to be finished off now. That neural theft going to be infested. Down to these players. The drone goes out and over the top. Spotted the one. DOS9 now the one that cannot try to go for the stick. Turned out to the open. Yampi able to find the first, but will end up getting taken down as Sugetsu finds that elimination. Time continuing to bleed away. Chronicle going to be good for the one. Has to go for the reload. Tucks back around the corner, and he's the last one standing. And he's just completely outgunned and outnumbered. Will end up getting picked apart, and the round goes the way of KC. Finding their first here after a 4-round win streak for Vitality.
Yeah, a full 5-on-5 retake, and you've got to like the read from Vitality. They completely bypassed the overdrive early. They've shifted to the other side of the map. You know, you throw the overdrive at A main to try to take control of that space, you do, and that allows KZ to get into pretty quick position there, set up that Hunter's Fury, clear out the 2 players on site, and then they have such an overwhelming numbers advantage there, and with the help of the Cypher ult, kind of know where the players are, and you can just lock it down. Exactly that. Hit some nice shots too. Durka Operator. Not gonna have any targets early. It's just a relay bolt to kind of thwart Vitality, and then they're looking again to try to see if Vitality was gonna double down on this C hit early. But it's just a scoop of an orb.
And gets Yampi one away from having that next Hunter's Fury online. Chronicle similarly right there, ready for that first lockdown to be coming through.
Got a good opportunity here if you can get that Killjoy ult on, because Aves just used that Hunter's Fury, so be a good opportunity to clear some space, set yourself up for the plant. But Vitality's been pretty aggressive with their tempo early, been pretty high paced, but now they want to just take a breather, try to feel out the map a little bit more. I think maybe some of that early aggression from Levin previously has set them to kind of alert mode where, hey, we need to make sure that we're not giving up that space and that we're kind of clearing the map a little bit more efficiently, more effectively, get into some more favorable post-plant scenarios.
I think they're just going to go for a double dash, refract, and drone fake onto this A site. Try to bait them in.
100%.
Oh, there's the saturate, chucked in towards Hell. Sayonara dashing forward, trying to see if he can spot anything. Drone reveal onto Aves. He's already backed up quite a bit. Meanwhile, Narrate just facing forward, down towards C Long, is able to find the one. Now it's just Prophet left standing with a spike in hand. KC just keeping their players in position. Might just the undoing of Vitality in this round, but that being said, Sayonara, filter of a shot onto Sugetsu, and now onto Aves. It's getting these taps. Yampi now running them down, is able to find another, and Levin. This one standing, knows that they've eaten some damage, knows that they are going to be a bit tagged up, but trying to isolate and pick them apart one by one. Both players tucked into the corner. They bolt. Try to isolate. This is going to be a jump onto the window. And while he will be able to find the first, he cannot find the necessary second. Yampi will get it done. Pravek will be thinking his lucky stars that he managed to have that ultimate online in a critical moment.
Well, this is one of the rounds that I love to see from this composition, where you have options available to you. You can sell those fakes. I talked about it earlier, using the Waylay to sell the fakes. This time, they integrate the Sova into it as well. And then you have the bailout of Profix ult, because he's been able to get into another one. Had a really good start to this. 8 kills already on the board for the Omen. So you have that little bit of extra layer to this. So now you're starting to see the playbook unfold for Vitality, the depth that they've been able to create with this new composition on Haven.
And maybe just some quick improvisation coming through.
Sure.
Felt like with that double stack, both duels still remaining on C, that would have just been the round going over to KC and things tied up with a nice little bow on top. But Vitality now out in front by 2 rounds. Hunter's Fury, King reveal still there on Sugetsu, and he will just get spammed down. DOS9 at the same time, able to scale around the back, out in the mid, finding the first. Durka not quite ready for the angle, eats a bit of damage, but does manage to escape with his life intact, but Aves cannot say the same. Sayonara able to intercept him there at garage window. 4v3. Slow and silent approach. Meanwhile, Sayonara with a quick check back in the mid and Narrate. None the wiser, not ready at all. Caught on a timing. Falls to the wayside, and Sayonara. I mean, it's in the name. Good Lord. His lights out in these last couple rounds. He wants his ace. I don't think he's going to be able to find it. DOS9 escaping back through sewer, re-wrapping into A. So this would have to be one hell of a quick hunt here if he wants to be able to find it. But Vitality, explosive way to move up to 6.
Well, this is exactly the player that's been promised, this young, up-and-coming superstar. And this round right here was insane. Gonna have another convergent paths already. Just takes over for Vitality. I mean, you get a bit nervous there for Vitality because DOS9 gets so quickly into the back lines, almost gets Durka as well, but Durka able to escape, and that's huge for them. Keeps things a little bit confusing. Oh man, just sharp as heck, and okay, finally gonna get that timeout.
And it feels like this is still quite late. There's an opportunity, of course, to recover this half, but getting brutalized by Sayonara and Yampi in those last couple rounds. Ult's still working against you. Aves only halfway to that next Hunter's Fury, and Chronicle just hasn't had a chance nor a real need to invest this lockdown quite yet.
Yeah, if any opportunity kind of presented itself, it's been thwarted by Casey's really aggressive early play, and I think that's why a couple rounds ago we saw Vitality slow things down to try to look and figure out what was going on. You know, KC was starting to take risks early with DOS9 pushing out, with Levin pushing out, things like that were causing a little bit of problems for Vitality, but their recoveries were really nice. They were able to use that individual skill to turn some of these rounds on their head. Now for KC, got to talk about how you want to avoid. You don't want to get caught in another convergent paths like you just did a few rounds ago, where you just lose 2 players on site and it's basically GG, go next. Gonna be a Marshall there for Levin, Sugetsu, Bulldog. DOS9 did carry the gun over, but a couple pistols otherwise. So let's see. Looks like no early convergent paths this time, so Vitality reading that KC had learned their lesson. Spread both their duelists out over. DOS9 is top of a box with a trip underneath him. Timing there. A bit tricky for him. They're leaving him, giving him a lot of trust.
Knock might just clear that trip, though. It does. Finds 2 damage.
The little things, Achilleo.
That's just value for investment. And oh my God, Durka! Woo! It looked like he was asleep at the wheel. Adrenaline kicked in. He jolted awake. Managed to pump the brakes in time. Spares himself from crashing out of control.
We're able to scoop that gun up, though.
Available, but Sayonara is just going to try to play himself in here. He did not see the ponytails, but they haven't seen him. That peek, and Levin, he just doesn't have the angle for this one. Needs to jump up onto the windowsill to be able to have it, and a couple shots are not connecting Sayonara. Another fast adjustment. Cleans up the headshot. Narrate now boxed into a corner. As, okay, the timing will be found. Narrate able to find that elimination. Molly out, 15 seconds. They do have to commit forward into the site. Narrate absolutely needs to try to hold the line, but Chronicles here on the backstab. He's got the elimination secured. Now it is just Aves on the approach, now noted. Tagged at 15. Finds the first recon sent. Might just connect onto the player, but either way, he will be dead to rights as Prophet intercepts down in sewer. 7-3, Vitality confirming a lead at the half now, looking to make this potentially 9-3.
It just gets really weird in this round with everybody kind of having to rely on those instant reactions in this case from Durka. That is crazy stuff. But Sayonara staying underneath Levin's nose, and then Levin not able to find those Marshall no-scopes. No damage really done there, and then it's kind of fall apart piece by piece for KC. And then the scarier thing here is KC, you're getting into another alt cycle, but Vitality was able to hang on to those. So you got some of those big counters available.
Look at the stack here for Vitality. This could be another quick hit coming through. There's the reveal, convergent pass to intercept, and Advez. Let's get clipped by this. Tripwire to try to slow down the approach. Durka will absorb that. Meanwhile, Sayonara trying to get the scale forward, but the quick pivot arc is coming through as KC get 3 players onto this A site. Frag to be taken back out towards safety. So far, no kills to be found, but Prophet has been tagged to 1.
That was a nice stall out. Able to tuck far enough back. They're looking to try to triple face him.
They know that he's in this corner. The lockdown now going to be invested, but he's able to find the first, but cannot scale forwards. The space is going to have to be respected as Narrate will backpedal away. The site able to be taken now as the spike is going to be ushered around towards long. Narrate, however, quickly can get it on an angle. So running back is going to be popped immediately. He's able to find Sayonara. The spike now down on the floor. Gets the wallbang shot. Prophet at one. Stood no damn chance as a rate dropping out of heaven, able to find the kill. And now it is all down to Yampi, but he will be noted. Sugetsu, wise to it, turns back, finds the kill. And KC will get up to 4.
That's huge. That's so huge. I mean, the convergent paths and the lockdown using that round, and you get through it with the win. Unbelievable. Love the confidence we're seeing from Narrate there. Beautiful play. Uses that flash to drop down, get another big kill. That was exactly what the doctor ordered here for KC. Now you're going to have a Hunter's Fury available. One away from a couple other big ults there for KC. Meanwhile, you're not going to have any really available for Vitality. Maybe Prophet's ult comes into the mix a bit.
Widely, the ult well has run dry here, but Dirk, he's going to be able to find 2 there in the mid. Eventually, the Hunter's Fury from Aves will clean him up, and they need a hell of a lot more than that, but it's going to be Aves able to find Chronicle at the same time. Flash going to go out, and Rate able to steady the spray. Prophet going to be taken down. Now suddenly, just 2 players standing for Vitality. Etsu quick on the scale. Actually, if he had just peeked in towards that A lobby side of things, would have been able to get the intercept and kill off Yampi. The one player with that full health, but he's been making noise. Aves well aware of this. He's more concerned about where that second player could be, but it's going to be Sayonara now found on the opposite side of the map, but they know exactly where the last player is. And the kill will be there. Aves able to get 3 as KC get up to 5, rescuing this half in a pretty big way.
Yeah, a nice little bounce back, a nice little change up with some of the Cypher utility at the front of A there. Saw that stall out the convergent path round where they tried to execute off of the catch onto Aves. That actually slowed them down enough that they weren't really able to get there and, you know, punish that catch that they had with that ultimate. But that round there as well, gonna identify Yampi, make him an easy cleanup. Don't give him any chance for that clutch. And ended up being a really close half. You're a little worried there for KC on their map pick, but they rallied there right at the last minute. Got a couple big rounds to go their way. Vitality having some absolutely explosive ones. You know, some big hero multi-kill rounds. Yampi, Prophet, obviously Sayonara was lights out there for a little bit, but recovery available. KC be coming into this attacker's half, I would suspect, feeling pretty confident they've got a real shot.
I mean, this is where they should be the most favored, so as long as they can have a solid pistol, be off to a very good start. But if it goes the other way, if Vitality are able to find that win, those start to slip further and further away from their grasp, which is going to be a bit concerning because Haven, this is the map that KC, I think, really do want to play. They're going to be very happy to have this one from the outset. It was either that or this fracture, I suppose. Probably be fine to play on that one as well, but this is where they want their bread to be buttered.
Now, still though, I mean, I think you're seeing some really good ideas from Vitality with this new composition. At times, again, some simple executes that really work to treat, but the depth, I think, in understanding how to kind of push and pull the map a little bit, not always there. We saw it in one of the rounds, but outside of that, it was a lot of pretty static hits, and that did give KC some ability to make some of those fast rotates. Did see it early in that half on the pistol round, and then beyond that as well when they finally got their footing, able to get in there and do some damage. But Vitality going to spread the map a little bit here. Pretty wide open. Eye on Kron with that turret over at Sita. Try to hold the line if this just does turn into a aggressive hit, but Spike's still on the ground as the barrier's about to drop, so this doesn't feel like a full commit. Maybe if you get the kill on the Kron here, you can just scale forward as KC. But he's trying to play off that turret, trying to use it to kill. Can't do it.
Well, not really able to play behind that one. Not much damage going to be found either, but Sayonara eats an immense amount. Double scale forward, going to be coming in, but Sayonara now going to be finished off inside of the garage. DOS9 able to hold down this flank. There's going to be that second layer as Prophet still just sprinting forward, but has no idea where this enemy Omen may have escaped to, and he is misreading it completely. DOS9 able to get the better of him, gets himself a weapon upgrade in the Sheriff, and now does Yampi in a 1v5 to try to stop this pistol from going into Casey's hands.
Hell of a way to pistol round, but odds are not in his favor.
Not at all. Tripwire as well, situated outside of the garage. Getsu in that corner. Might be able to jump this, but Will do so, but it's right into his demise. He still does manage to get one, so stops it from being a flawless. We'll get an extra little ult charge towards that first Hunter's Fury of the half, but that is going to be KC potentially roaring their way right back into this.
Yeah, I like the way that KC leads with the drone here, so that has to be cleared by Kron first, and then they're able to avoid that, early opportunity that you would normally get with that turret in that position to play off of it as Chronicle. DOS9 all over the map as usual. One of my favorite players to watch on Omen just because of how creative he is, how hard he is to predict where he is and what he's doing and when he's doing it. Just a really intelligent player who's willing to take risks, force the opponents into bad positions. They're kind of guessing exactly where that Omen ended up. Let's see, a couple rifles in there. 11 with the Outlaw.
Oh, Durka didn't see him on the first peek, so has to go back in for a little bit more and pays the iron price. Easy kill, but okay, high-low setup. Chronicle able to find one. Flash in, however, Narrate will find two. Scale back in. Yumpy able to find an immense amount of damage just with that classic and doesn't need anything in reply. Give a bit of pause here to KC, who otherwise wanted to quickly scale their way forward into the C site, but Sayonara getting a little bit too curious. Swings that corner, will end up falling, and now it is once again down to Yumpy to try to see if he can find any additional damage.
Be simple stuff. Love the way Narrate has been piloting the Phoenix. Really impactful with those flashes. He's going to have his ult going into the next round too, so going to be a really scary bonus, assuming Yumpy doesn't do too much more damage. You wouldn't think so with the trip here, even though Sugetsu pretty weak, but he's going to be making noise. Should be dealt with. Oh no! The jumping click. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, just a jump right click. We'll just chuck that Bulldog over the side, make sure they can't swap the Spectre out for it. Of course, does need to die and shall do so. Abez able to find that kill. So parity found between the Sobas as far as the ult charge is concerned, but parity also found on the scoreboard as Casey tie it up.
Yeah, and again, this should be a pretty scary bonus that Vitality are going to be facing. Cute little high-low setup there, but again, really nice curveballs from Narrate. Been doing a great job finding value out of that. 3 players with 12 kills now on KC.
I mean, it's been a massive rebound for him. Narrate starting things off. He was down at the bottom of the barrel here for KC. Last few rounds found for the squad on that opening half. Done well to really bolster the stats. As Sayonara. Okay. He just rolled an at 20. He's able to find 2 players through the smoke. That shouldn't be allowed. Quick cleanup. Swing in will eventually get punished, and the trade back is going to be good, but that's still going to be taking quite a bit of damage. Regen armor will go back up to 25, but a total of 32 health. Not exactly where you want to be on your Sova.
That's one of those moments that would tilt the Dungeon Master, to say the least. Absolutely insane. Goodness.
Supposed to figure that one out this early into the campaign. 3v3, still an opportunity for KC to make a go of this. Will get cleared, just trying to instill some doubt, keep some interest on that C side of the map, so Prophet will rotate over, maintain this, and at the moment, I mean, it's a 1-1-1 fan out from Vitality. No one playing together at the moment.
You're going to have to be good for at least one here as Prophet. Smoke's about to drop. That paranoia, maybe? Yeah, here it goes.
Paranoia to go through, turns back, clears the recon. The drone now coming out. Not too much time to try to go for a pivot here, and Chronicle has reinforced this position. They know and read that TP up over the top from DOS9. Staying situated now on the drop down. Will end up losing his life. Prophet able to find one. Durka keeping him covered. Cleans up Sugetsu. Finds Zavez. And Vitality lose out on 3 players, but they will play anti-bonus.
This is one of those rounds where it feels like the luck is just on your side as Vitality and that you're going to have a really great round. Oh, okay, you take out the Phoenix ult off the rip, but then they're able to punch back. Being patient at the point of attack. Got to feel really good about that round as KC, though. You did a lot of damage again in the bonus round, even though you don't get the win. But Prophet's protocols really effective in the heat of the moment there to prevent them from really scaling forward. Good recognition of what could be going on behind it. He buys time for Durka to get there, and they can shut the round out.
Knocked that on to 11 right there at his feet. Ball down to 50. Durka at the same time able to find Avaz. Peek in, and it looked like Sugetsu was going to be dialed in for the angle, but Chronicle just a little bit faster on the trigger. He's able to find that kill, and this is looking very good for Vitality, as Narrate will be surrounded. Flushed out, just the 1 kill found. As they move up 9-7, the lead again now getting bolstered.
This is a great read from Vitality. I mean, the early scouting done by Sayonara doesn't give you too much information, and they're still willing to hold the line here. Kron holding the door, and then they're going to be swinging together to crunch into grass. A great call from Yampi. He is absolutely letting KC know. I've got you figured out maybe now. Sayonara has another convergent paths early.
We have another timeout call. By the look of it here. Their opportunity not given over to try to utilize that, run it back. Widely can come through, but this is one of those moments where you'd really love for Levin to have that overdrive online. Not to be. Likely going to end up being a little bit on the weaker side of the buy. As it's a timeout.
It had time in the word.
That's true.
We got halfway there. Yeah, I mean, I think here as KC, it's tough to say exactly, what is going wrong there. Maybe just being a little bit too eager to pull the trigger in that previous round on the execute, not kind of identifying the trap fast enough, or like when Chronicle gets that kill on a Sugetsu, that might be the moment that you need to, take a step back, guys. Like, they're clearly still ready for us to be aggressive, even though we waited out that Waylay refract clear in grass.
Okay, Sayonara. Fancy with it, pushes forward. Nope.
Not yet.
17. Sayonara does end up going down to 5 HP, but it's going to be 2 kills found back here for Vitality, as Levin's only able to clean up Prophet.
I must wait a moment.
Oh,
what? Zone. Okay, DOS 9. What? Chronicle. In mid. Suddenly, the round win right back on the board here for KC.
A lot of guns on the floor, too, and just Durka trying to protect him.
Durka feeling like he has to try to make a play, and he absolutely has. Well, swings out a little bit too wide too quickly. DOS9 will be able to shut him down, but grabs the Vandal, the spike in hand, now looking for the TP into the back of C site. All this KJ setup meaning absolutely nothing. Chronicle dead on the floor. The plant to come in, Yampi in range. As a sound on this, his drone will now go out, just trying to get the spot out here. Still 2 teleports to try to reposition for DOS9. Up a bit of a Caterpillar smoke, and it looks like he's not going to be spotted.
Still think you should be rather suspicious of it, but I think he went to the other side.
Now they have it confirmed, but he gets it into a 1v1. A little bit of damage going to be suffered. Be held at bay. Time bleeding away, getting out of his hands. The spot out, and DOS9 can just play ring around the rosy here. The spike still over at back plat. Yampi trying to swing in, trying to get there in time to shut him down. Taps the defuse. Cannot win that fight. No, does it in fact, but he cannot win the round is what I mean to say, as KC will be able to persevere with no one left alive. They keep things tight-knit, just 1 round separating as they pull off a clutch.
Feels a little nostalgic to see DOS9 put clutch.exe into the command prompt here. He is very, very good in those scenarios. Just plays ring around the rosy, using those smokes so nicely to keep himself obscured. Again, the thinking on the fly, incredible from this man. That's going to be Durka. Operator available. Bladestorm to back it up. Narrate, please, my man. Gotta use this run it back. We gotta find an opportunity. But they've just been getting, like, beaten at the point of attack so often by Vitality that it's slowed it down.
Well, space is going to be given up, so you will be able to have it here for the entry. The spike is going to be in his hand as well, so he wants to try to just get this situated while the ult is rolling, but it's going to be stunned up. Yampi on the peak, able to get the shutdown. Now the spike right back out of the site. Paranoia going to be sent through. Levin able to find it. Timing turns back to clean up Prophet as well. Quick little 1-2 punch, but Sayonara still nearby enough. Gets rid of both duelists and keeps this into a 3v3. Same time, an exploration over onto the C site, but there's no way to pivot. The time is there, but I just don't think they have the opportunity to actually try to make an exit. Racked out, burned. Not going to have it. Chronicle a spot out onto the 1. As Aves way over. The main entrance of the site. On forward, going to be cleared out as DOS9 goes scaling forward aggressively. Wanted to try to take this fight, but the timing is going to be found by Chronicle. Sayonara goes diving in, gets cleaned up. Knives now going to be popped. Chronicle able to find another. Going to be Sugetsu. It's not planted for him, and Durka has the angle with that op in hand. Double digits established. Vitality now up 10-8.
That one's starting to make you sweat a little bit if you're a Vitality fan, because you just felt that looming presence of Sugetsu. And it was just a matter of if they could clear the site in time before he showed up to the party, and they do just that. And what a read from Durka, holding that angle immediately with the operator. Sussed it out, kind of pieced it out. He's like, well, I came from Long A, and he never came there. I bet he's rapping through Link. Absolutely nails it. Finally got that Phoenix ult to go, and you don't get the round, and you're back on an eco as KC.
Gonna have an overdrive behind this one, but Durka quickly able to take position down to the sewer, hold this line. But it's gonna be a faster exec now over onto the B site. Chronicle gonna be forced away, damage gonna be suffered. Levin just trying to disrespect that, but does get ripped apart down to 47. Now the Hunter's Fury gonna be called out as well as Yumpy, just disrupting, stopping them from getting this plant in play. Getsu holding back on this angle. Because DOS9 has played here before, I think that they're a little bit more suspicious of it, but Durka expecting to be a little bit deeper towards the spawn, so Sugetsu hits a belter of a shot. Ultep now going to be invested. Sayonara, an attempt to try to run him down, but will not be able to do so. Sugetsu slips the net. Double dash around up into mid, the spot on the one. Knowing that he's widely surrounded as Yumpy as well. Boxed in, but swings the corner. Is able to find the headshot. Aves going to be taken down. Lockdown now out from Garage. Not going to be able to be cleared as Sugetsu will fall. All of these players now having to try to make their exit over towards the A connector side. They're just going to be detained. DOS9, he's able to find the one, but they're not going to be able to win this fight. Levin is just completely isolated here in back sight. They know that he's somewhere. They will suss it out. Yumpy will collect the kill. The defuse goes in, and Vitality move up 11-8.
Just brilliant timing from Chronicle on that lockdown. Knew exactly how long it would last to give them the time. This is a great play from Sugetsu. Able to best Durka and get that big ult available. But it's an even better response, and little wry smile there from the KC players knowing they just got outdone.
I mean, at the end of the day, you do get those ultimates out. You get the lockdown. The Bladestorm was used previously. Now the Hunter's Fury out of the hands of Vitality. So for it being a thrifty attempt, it's not that bad. But Vitality now one away from locking up map point on your pick.
Exactly. It's just like too little, too late. I mean, even though you're doing damage, map's kind of already slid so far in the wrong direction. Sugetsu going to try to scale up, try to use that camera, but the drone identifies him, and he's going to have to back off momentarily. Wants to maybe re-challenge it. Again, looking to see if someone from Vitality is going to try to cheat down into sewers. Can use that camera to catch them, but so far I think Vitality, pretty good read.
This drone allows for Durka to cheat forward and now cheat back with a peek into Garage. Ready, scaling forward, up into window. Back. Sugetsu still here in sewer, is able to find Sayonara, going on a walkabout. Durka at the same time, he's looking over towards his Garage window. He's able to find the one, but he cannot escape. Aves is there. Finds that punish, keeps them traded up in position as Chronicle just fishing for a bit of damage that will not be found. Spike now to be planted. Vitality to have to try to get this retake started, but Sugetsu going to be intercepted. Yumpy very patient to shut down that potential flank. Still another layer.
Ooh.
It's Narrate here in B, but they're just losing on all fronts at the moment. Vitality just finding these individual members. And then limb from limb, the curveball going to be sent in, and Yumpy is already facing away from it. Swings to the side, finds a headshot, Narrate now dead, and DOS9 to try to clutch it out, but the wide swing is there. Chronicle gets the cleanup, the defuse will be in, and Vitality will move up to map point.
It's so heartbreaking for Carmine Corp. I like the way they play a lot of these rounds, but then some of this individual prowess from Vitality comes through and just takes them over the line. I mean, they're breaking angles. They're getting into these aggressive positions that are catching Vitality off guard, but then little moments where they can't follow up. So right here, you got a great little trap play there. You catch Durka, but Yumpy catches Sugetsu. Too aggressive. Aves wants to go explore long to set up that extra angle. The flash doesn't connect for Narrate, where he had been quite good with some of those earlier. Afik again, he has been really really reliable. Everybody on Vitality doing a phenomenal job.
Seinhar has already found one. Levin is dead. Hunter's Fury just there around the corner. They're not going to be given that sight line, but DOS9, he's blinded up as he works his way into hell, and Profik ensures that he rests there. Ping reveal onto the jet, but not fast enough to capitalize for the punish. Narrate is dead, and Vitality, they are looking to just run away with this second half. Convergent Path stunned up, dead. Sayonara will find it, and Vitality will take it 13-8. They deny KC a win on their map pick.
Yeah, a little bit rocky at times for both teams, but Vitality, once they got their footing, able to just have some really impressive individual moments that were able to take them over the line. New composition that they're bringing looks pretty good at some time.
I really did, but now KC backs up against the wall and need to try to reverse sweep this one. Vitality, they're going to have their map pick coming up next, but for now, we'll send things back over to Digon and the desk.
Thank you very much, Achilleos. It is Vitality getting themselves the victory here over KC. The blue wall on their own pick falls short thanks to this unique composition by Vitality, and they pick up the victory 1-0 Bs over the Blues. Welcome back to the desk. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time, and you know, it starts so well and then just never really got going after that.
I mean, look, we spoke about this so much going into it. Haven is a map where KC have been so strong in the past, and if they're not managing to get it done here, does make you worry a little bit for the rest of the series, especially when they get that double pistol. If you're losing after double pistol, man, you got problems to address on that map, and I think they have to regroup fast if they're going to bounce back in this series. As eventually we're going to go across onto Lotus, Vitality's map, bigger map, where they've been so strong. So really, odds stacked against KC now.
I think that maybe we were spoiled during the first series with how close things were and whatnot. But I do agree, like for the side of KC, you need to go back to the drawing board, because as we were saying, at some point, you know, people will catch up to what you're doing and whatnot. But there are so many things to do. You cannot really blame them for faulting a Haven against one of the strongest teams in the entire region. Also a team that brings in a new composition, that leans into that double duelist, and now with the Waylay, something that we also saw in EMEA, and I actually didn't think of it until I saw that ultimate where they combined the Waylay ult with the Soba, and then someone that looks a lot like you knows a lot about that composition. It's surprising how
it's the Foot comp. You know, we saw Foot play exactly this in London, and they were absolutely flawless on Haven all the way throughout, so not surprised to see more teams picking that up. This is a real strong blueprint for the map that Vitality are able to adopt and fit for themselves very, very smoothly.
Y'all, do you see what's happening with Big Time's shirt here? It looks like he's Michael Jackson-ing it up. Look at that.
There's wind.
Can we look at that?
It's moving. It just, you know, it's all about the stage direction here. Fantastic.
Amazing. All right. That was almost as amazing as the highlights we're about to show you here from that last one where Vitality took it here on KC's map pick. And that Haven, I think a gut punch here to the blue wall, expecting themselves to get that free win. We talked about it earlier. They've been so successful on it. Despite everyone knowing what's coming, they haven't been stopped on it until now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw moments where this team was starting to heat up. This round in particular, where, you know, you see DOS get those two openers and then it falls apart. Narrate with a big 3K with the run it back. There's times where they were able to shine, but it just wasn't consistent. Down 5-7 at the half, even after that pistol, it does just feel like the run of the game was just going against them all the time. And we see Vitality just being able to slam into that A-site, a real struggle here. So it's just kind of not surprising to me that Vitality are the better team. They are the more experienced team. They are the most recently successful team here out of the two. So they're showing exactly why they are the favorites today.
Yeah, but things could have gone the other way. It's good to see that Yampi is on form. Profik is on form. We saw him in the 2v1. You remember we were watching, I was like, oh, he's winning this 100%. In high pressure situations is where Profik performs the best. Seeing Yampi also, hearing him scream like that, we could hear from the green room because there's no roofs here. And it's absolutely good to see that this is the phase that we're going to see from Vitality. Now it's time for KC to prove that they can bounce back. It cannot be all about Haven, and definitely in this series is already not.
Yeah, again, right? You want to continue to see the growth of these teams given the fact that on the other stage right now on the B stream, Paper Rex, NRG going head-to-head. So getting this win means so much to getting out of the group. Knowing that 2 losses gets you out, you want to be able to get that leg up because your opposition is going to be tough, whether you win or whether you lose in that next round. Speaking of whether you win or whether you lose, we'll find out in the next map. Will it be over in a quick 2-0 by Vitality, or will KC fight back? Don't go anywhere. You're watching EWC 2026.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Welcome back to EWC 2026 presenting Valorant. It is KC versus Vitality, with Vitality currently 1-0 over the blue wall. Sayonara, 270 ACS in that last one. Just was absolutely on fire. Next closest at 220 with Dosh 9 on the opposite side. And it just really felt like we were wondering, you know, Sayonara, who's going to be the one that's popping off? He was absolutely the one on that way, like, doing a great job.
I mean, this is why he's in contention for Rookie of the Year. This is why he was such an awaited signing. Vitality signed him when he was, what, 16, 17?
Yeah.
They were sat
They wanted
there.
to make sure that nobody else was first.
they were waiting for him to be ready and old enough to play in the VCT and put him in the second he was, and he's been absolutely electric for this squad. He's so flexible. We know he can play the support roles, and he can definitely play the duelist. So rock solid on the way like here. It's hard to not, you know, to fight against him for that Rookie of the Year position at the moment.
I think also that they should, you know, be a little bit more consistent with the roles that they're given. Just because he can play all these things, just imagine if he only played a couple. Imagine if he would have all of those reps in 2 or 3 ages. It would be absolutely amazing. But for Vitality, it's been finding their footing in many different areas. So it is understandable that since you are lucky enough and you were smart enough to lock him down so soon, now you have him to put it where you were. And I think that they're still looking for that stability. Very good win here on Haven. Definitely learned something from Foot there in Masters. But of course, the job's not done.
Yeah, definitely it is not done here for Vitality. They need to close it on out, which is something that we wanted to see more of them in Masters London. On the opposite side, KC, trying to build those building blocks as we move over to Lotus. What do you want to see from them here, big time?
Well, so when we only saw them play this map once in the qualifiers, they got a win on it against Fnatic, which is no small feat. Fnatic are a very strong team, second tier at EWC last year. They were running that chamber, so I want to see if they bring that out again, and if they do, how effective can it be against a well-drilled team like Vitality?
I think it makes a lot of sense for Vitality to pick this. It is a map that they enjoyed. Yeah, I know that they were on the receiving end of that 13-4 against Leviathan, but Leviathan did win the entire thing.
I mean,
That's the Joker. It's like, oh, but they lost against this team, but that team actually won everything. So.
So it's okay.
But I think that they could see the weakness there. It is a map that, especially for the players that they have, I think is a map where they've been very, very comfortable. I wonder what approach are we going to see? Because we already saw the slight change in Haven. Are we also going to be seeing changes in this map? Are they also going to go in a direction many teams are going, where they're just removing the Viper entirely from the composition, especially with the players that you have? It's very anti-EMEA, removing the Viper.
No. Don't remove the Viper. The Viper's great on the map.
It doesn't matter how long you go to Pacific, you're still EMEA at heart.
A little bit. I always have a little cry if a team removes that Viper. I feel like it's so good, and it's so good for the Vitality guys. This map has been fantastic for them. I don't want to see them change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They know how to run this, so let's just do what you do, Vitality. That's all I'm saying.
Big time with a little cry for his former region there in
cry.
EMEA, as again we are waiting for this next map to get on going. The players are on stage and ready to go, setting the stage yet again. 2 wins and you're into the bracket stage, 2 losses and you're out. KC and Vitality are also in the group with Paper Rex and NRG, so getting wins will not come easy for either one of these squads, although this was the second most lopsided win that we've had so far, as EDG got wiped by BBL on Sunset in map number 3. But we'll see what's left in store here as we move on over to Lotus, another 3-site map.
Yep.
Options everywhere for the creativity on attack.
Yeah, exactly. I think that even though we are showing Vitality right now, they should be in the comfort zone. Even if they have prepared something new, they have a lot of wiggle room to try it. On the side of KC, though, you obviously want to watch when you're opening match, especially knowing that it's Paper Rex and NRG, the other 2 teams in your group. But now that you've lost that Haven, that has given you so much security, show us what you've been working on the rest. And I feel like I have to look at Avis for this one. When we speak about the IGLs and we highlight Yampi and what he can do for Vitality, we need to speak about the inexperience a little bit on the side of Avis. Yes, he's a little bit more comfortable now that he is not playing on the duelist, but we need them to feel like the synergy is actually flowing with all of these changes, and he is the most important piece for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lotus is an IGL's map. I really feel like the more confident you are in your caller, you work those 3 sides on attack, and you see it time and time again from the more experienced teams. They favor this map because they've played it a lot, they have the reps, and they understand how to make it work. Now, when we talk about experience, Vitality, those guys have been there, done that. Durka, Chronicle, huge trophy lifters, massive names here in Valorant, so it's no surprise to see them lean on this old favorite. KC have it all to do here in my mind to try and bring this series back.
We were seeing the papers exchange there, and one thing that I really like about this event that we do not have in VCT is the fact that we allow the players to have papers on the desk, so they can actually have some stress. We were looking at Chronicle being like, okay, what do I have? What is it on my homework for round 1? What is it that I need to do?
Yeah, that's something you always see in the pressure of those moments. It's all of a sudden you start forgetting what's happening with your prep. You just want to start taking the fights. You get sucked on into it and away from the strategy that you've been practicing. Having the papers on there, having those plans on there will help out as we dive into Agent Select here.
Yeah, we can see on the side of KC, they are sticking with that chamber that we saw from them in the qualifiers. In this first half, watch for Narrate. He's going to be probing towards A. His job is walk out, soak as much utility as he can. Take those fights towards there. So let's see what Vitality have cooked up for that counter. Because if you give the chamber too much room to breathe, too much room to explore this A side of the map, things start to get tricky.
2 things. 11 on the Neon. He's advanced so much with the agent, and it has to shine. Because otherwise it's going to be Dirk in time. And if
It's
it is
Dirk in
not
time.
Dirk in time, it will be Sayonara. He's been absolutely brilliant in this agent.
Yeah.
And I will say more. Do not forget, you can win EWC, you can win Valorant, whatever. We also have an MVP, if I am not mistaken, or at least we did before. So I will just reminder for every single one of the players, give your absolute best, because that is something I bet you do want.
You heard it
MVP
here first.
does come out with a nice hefty little MVP cash prize, so we'll keep an eye on those individuals leading
paying
the
dinner.
way here. It is map number 2 here. Vitality looking to give KC the KO punch. Let's dive into map number 2 with Achilles and Paper Thin.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, Lotus, the staging ground that is necessary if Carmine Corp want to be able to bounce back into this series. That Haven certainly not going the way that they wanted, giving up so many rounds in a row off the rip. It just became unrecoverable for them. As we moved into that second half, they need to have a strong start here on this attack.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge moment now for Carmine Corp after not winning a single match in Stage 1 of EMEA. And now able to run their way into this tournament, but to lose your map pick early, one of your regional rivals, team you haven't even played this year, by the way. This is the first time these two squads have met this year, despite being in the same region. So a little bit of a rough go to start, but map that. Oh, Kron!
Okay, well, he was a little EP on the first map, but he is wide awake here to start things off. Durka as well. He's going to be playing around Propek, who's looking to just bait in for that kill. DOS9 now going to be taken down. 2-player advantage established here for Vitality from the defender side. As the Haunt not quite going to be getting the reveal. And Chronicle now on the repeat is able to find one. Sinar gets that elimination, and Narrate just doesn't have enough rounds in the Headhunter. Another pistol here in the hands of Vitality, starting off this map 1-0.
I mean, you can see that this team is so well drilled on this map with their protocols. Nobody revealing themselves to that Haunt. Kron with the one and done, and then immediately repositions into a spot where KC just isn't quite ready for him. There's a reason this team was 4-1 on this map at Masters London, because they are so sturdy, so reliable. They understand all of the little angles and everything. Sayonara even there can't believe it. That was extremely clean from Vitality, and to start off this defender side that effectively, that efficiently, huge for Vitality. There's some of that util that Big Time was talking about that needs to be absorbed by Narrate. Does a good job of it there. Chronicle gonna be under pressure as the Outlaw. Narrate looking for the one tap. Headhunter not gonna find value. Now it's just a bit of a pause here. KC trying to show that they rotated, but
enough of an angle for Chronicle to take advantage. Finds that kill. DOS9 dead. Smokes now out of the hands of KC aside from the Viper, but obviously the wall is situated to try to play around A, to try to get some scale forward from Narrate, but he's still been contained back in lobby. Really garner any space. Now a bit more going to be offered up here as the full rotation does come through.
Vitality made a great read here off that door tap. They were immediately hustling over towards A.
Got 4 players here, and Durka may be able to catch a glimpse as that wall goes up, but either way, Levin does get taken down. Quick little exit with the rendezvous. Narrate over towards relative safety, but how long that safety is going to last? Not very, it would seem, as Prophet is able to find one, turns back into the B site, cleans up Sugetsu. Narrate will fall, and Vitality will get a flawless 2-0 start.
I mean, I will say, if you want to find a silver lining in this round, that was very much in Vitality's favor, but if you want to find a silver lining for KC, what I will point my finger towards is Narrate and the way he was able to buy a lot of attention, buy a lot of util, never gave up any early damage. I think he played that about as well as he could without finding any shots to connect, so sure, you want to see him do some kind of damage with the Headhunter, of course, but I will say some of the ideas that I'm seeing early from the Chamber are really good.
Need a hell of a lot more. As Levin, quick little jiggle P trying to set up for that relay bolt, but they're just swinging through this one way, and Aves taking that fight is still able to find it. An elimination, but Prophet will come up with a second. That Guardian dealing damage now, isolating the spike down on the floor. Given the damage that he suffered, Levin, there's no way for him to try to recover this one at all.
Oh, and now you've got a Prowler that just identified Narrate over at B main. So this is all unraveling rather quickly for KC. It's going to have to be some incredible outplays.
How are you meant to really play yourself back into the Sugetsu? Those players you need to try to get grouped up over towards C Mound to recover this spike. He's been isolated. Narrate, okay, quick peek into a shot. Will kill off Prophet, makes his rendezvous exit back over towards spawn side, but now the scale forward, Sayonara. Spike has been recovered. Will quickly scale in behind them. Yumpy just trying to hold things down here. Sends out the Prowler, knows that they're playing close, and there is the backstab. As Sayonara looks for the second and will find it. Survives with 5 HP. Opponents converted. Vitality up now 3-0.
I mean, that's just wisdom beyond his age there from Sayonara, knowing exactly what that door tap was all about. That was to open up the opportunity for Levin to scoop up the spike, and they were immediately going to pivot off of that rendezvous, and he is right behind him the whole way. That is a brilliant read from the youngster. Not only does he have sharp shooting, folks, he's got the brains to back it up.
4-0 and 1 at the moment. How much that can continue here in flawless fashion as Levin, they're trying to take some quick space. Chronicle not going to be able to find the kill to get the insta punish. Meanwhile, Levin going to be held at bay as Paint Shell going to be lobbed around the corner, and that's going to be a high value nade as Turka sprays and prays, is able to find the one to push forward. Sayonara not quite catching a glimpse on the draw sign, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the team is there to pick up the pieces, and now it is just that aforementioned Scene Chamber on this side of the map now, further confirmed by the Arc Rose. Raid can try to get any more damage through here. Slow down this economy, but there's a footstep made. Turka well within the audio range. Will take quite a bit of damage, bounces back, tries to make his exit, and Yumpy is there's that second layer.
And there are those protocols again from Vitality. The Seize Nade combo, kind of an unusual spot, but a very, very effective one. It gives Durka the confidence to go swinging that corner. Sayonara is like, yep, I'm going right there with you. Sure, DOS9 gets one, but doesn't make too much of a difference because you reveal his position.
He almost collided DOS9.
You're right, he did.
Yumpy is just continuing to give it to him after every single round win. Psychological warfare very much in play. Like you mentioned, they haven't played against each other at all this year, so probably been a while since they've kind of yelled and barked at by Yumpy. Hopek, almost dead, lucky to be alive. Survives with 2 HPs. He tries to TP up into upper, but just enough of a glimpse there available to nearly find that elimination. Fortunate to still be kicking here as they try to just bait out this Vice util, but right now going to be isolated. Double face into B main. Finds the enemy chamber. Valor's well to note one. The scale forward going to be coming in. Prophet nearly dumping the entire mag into the box. Unable to find that elimination. Pump the brakes here now. Look to try to scale forward. Clear out this position at Waterfall, but Sayonara holds his own. 2 kills found, looking for the third. Aves down to 7 HP, frantically backpedaling away as Sugetsu will get eliminated. And he's like, yeah, the shorty should do it from here. First burst not to be found, but Yumpy will clean it up, and it's another flawless Prophet even surviving through this round despite being worked down the 2 health from the outset.
I mean, there's just so much confidence right now in Vitality, in their reads. They're able to put 2-2 between B and C, and then even get the third over there eventually. Sayonara absolutely lights out. You're going to have the showstopper for Durka coming into this next round, and it is going to be KC taking their first time out of Lotus. We're going to have a lot to talk about, I suspect, because economy's a little bit all over the place. Like it's going to have to be some kind of eco here mostly. Got to figure out how you're going to confuse Vitality a little bit, because they basically read you at every twist and turn. Tried to work the map a little bit in the eco round. Outside of that, you know, been forced down to eco so quickly that you haven't been able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the potential mental damage it would inflict if KC can run this back and accrue 7 rounds, Vitality's kind of done what they need to do when it comes down to this half. They're starting from the defender side. Side selection for Carmine Corp, and they're currently down 0-5. So seeing a team start off this strongly from the defender side should absolutely be ringing alarm bells throughout the KC camp. This timeout needs to do wonders. They need to find some kind of value. Thrifty would be a massive potential swing round for them, but even just get themselves back into a buy position with some very solid ultimates to boot, That could be the magic that they need.
And you're going to clear so much space on Mound here. Make it a little more comfortable for you to make some rotations. Prowlers.
Bandit is a one-tap potential here. If he could find it, but okay, neither player going to be coming up with a connection on those shots.
And maybe they want to try to challenge that. I mean, they had some success on Haven. You know, often Vitality will leave Durka to his own devices.
If they don't Prowler this.
If they don't.
They will. Okay, wise to it. Reading this as a trap play. Meanwhile, though, Paint Shell lobbed in. Levin tagged to 45. No stopper still here in the back pocket for Durka as well if he does get overwhelmed. But we can see KC starting to pump the brakes and try to get called back over to A. They've gotten a decent amount of space here. The most that they've been able to get so far for free.
Patience.
Well, jump peek here is going to be hurt by Sugetsu, but they will just go ahead and spot each other out.
Hey, good patience with the util from Vitality. Don't throw the paranoia there. Save the Boombot until just now to re-clear a little bit of this space. DOS9 sticking around. Now you've got the Vice util.
Durka fancies his chances. Quick reposition into the quick scope, and Durka will have him dead. Showstopper might as well have gotten the elimination at that rate. Pivot in. Door broken. D-site noise is heard. Swing in. Levin, a belter of a shot. Durka going to be shut down. Operator not quite recoverable here for the moment. They managed to get into a position to actually take that, but instead it's going to be the Nightfall sent out towards the door off the tap, and Chronicle is able to find one. Sayonara now also trying to penetrate this position. Will end up losing his life, but Narrate going to be traded out as Chronicle comes away with that kill, and now it is just down to Sugetsu. A Sheriff at hand, seized in position, and absolutely screwed. Yampi has the backstab. 3 players survive. The opt to be carried over, even though they already have cash aplenty. Vitality continue onward.
Yeah, it's, again, just patience paying off for Vitality. You can just see that how comfortable they are on this map. And even though, yeah, they did get kind of battered on this map when they faced Leviathan on their run towards winning Masters London, still good trading protocols here. Kind of one of the more dangerous moments where Narrate had an opportunity to maybe get a double kill there. The round alive for KC. He is going to have the tour de force for this one, so just the half armor and the ult. Now we're going to see a big contest for the first time here at Rubble.
Needs to be avoided. Levin out in front of that. Canceling that TP from DOS9 as Prowler's just going to be exchanged on either side. Amount of space offered up here to Carmine Corp. And Sugetsu. A massive shot that he found Durka dead. The operator again now felled. The force still available on the other side. Wall going to be baited out. Now the pivot can come in. The spike still a ways away. Will get recovered by Aves, and that does have KC pumping the brakes for now. Attack fight out towards the baby door, but nothing to be found there as really bolt to be sent in.
Already feeling must win for KC. You've got a player advantage. You're able to take the operator out of Durka's hands early. Be able to escort the spike in to B. Big retake to try to hold, but Kron does have that steel garden, and if you could open up that space, get the pit down for Sayonara, it'd be tough.
Here's the start. Steel garden pushing them back over towards Waterfall. Water Force still having to be contended with. Narrate able to shrug off that paranoia. Prophet fishing for him in this smoke. He tries to go for the quick scope, and it will get taken down. Capital Fuse now coming inside, are able to find those kills. And now this should pretty much tell them where these remaining players are at, but Levin, striking from backside, slides in, finds a third, and that's just enough to tip them over the edge. DOS9 able to find Sayonara to close it out. And at long last, Carmine Corp will get themselves on the board.
Yeah, that's huge. Levin just bailed them out. What it looked like a great opportunity for KC was going to swing the other way into Vitality's favor. Ooh, that third is disgusting. Well done.
Disgusting and necessary.
Yes.
Those are 3 of his 4 kills so far in this map. Obviously, it's been struggle street for Carmine Corp across the board.
I mean, he's topping the charts on that side of the map. Jeez.
To deliver a bit more of that. But it's going to be found immediately, just trying to scale his way out of A lobby. Trademark still there around the corner trying to prevent that forward scale, but Sayonara, he is out for revenge, and he will have it. Levin now going to be taken down as Narrate will fall alongside him.
Selfless play from Yampi.
All to try now for Profit to play himself in from back rubble. Re-swings around though and gets the catch on the DOS9 right as he's hopping up on top of Rock. Chavez now just to try to prevent this from being a flawless. He'll be able to do so, but Profit gets himself a third to close it out, and Vitality just do not allow for KC to start building up any sort of momentum.
It's just so difficult for KC to find those opening picks to get that little bit of extra breathing room. Here they try a quick B hit to try to catch Vitality off guard, but Yampi happy to bait a little bit. He's like, I'm going to set up, and sayonara, you can knock it out of the park. That's totally fine.
And this kind of needs to be the one here. The overdrive at the ready. You have to assume that this is going to be there to try to back up this Vandal in the hands of DOS9. Just a headhunter for an 8. For a second rifle, but opts to not go for it. Speaking of ops, though, Durka, one in hand, shoulder spot out, and will not be able to connect the shot, but Chronicle, same tucked in behind this box. This ends up going incredibly well read. To try to help him be able to escape this position, he will not be able to do so. 2 kills are going to be found. And Sayonara arriving here on the side, gets a shutdown onto one, tries to go for the snake bite, will get caught. This cleans him up with a bandit. Now suddenly it's just Profit, and as good as he is, weapons are recovered. It's 4 players strong. Carmine Corp looking very well slated to get their second round win. That will do it. All right. Pole position to have the jump, and that's going to be a thrifty for them to double up the scoreline. Operator as well now, able to be grabbed out of the hands of Durka and passed over to this chamber.
Yeah, finally, just some of the homework that Carmine Corp surely did before the map here today. Able to come through and find some value, reading that position. You know, another bait and switch attempted here by Vitality, this time using Durka to try to tee up Chronicle. But the whole way through, he starts getting spammed. It gets a little panicky. You've got that Neon ult there as well. Get really difficult for the Operator. Now Operator in hands for Narrate. The Haunt to tee him up a little bit. DOS9 has full mound control, so Vitality giving up some of the extremities of the map, but Aves takes down Durka.
Really been able to get off the ground with this Operator, it feels like.
Gotta go.
Bit of the Hyunmin treatment.
Again, silver linings for KC. They have kind of shut Durka's op down. Not an easy task. Behind that, they surely struggled.
Making a bit of a retreat over towards Connector, but not really falling for this one. Spike is still going to be down in a lobby.
I like this slower pace from KC to try to dissect the map a little bit. Early nightfall here from Yampi.
Get some additional information. You can see they're still kind of desperate for it, so the TP as well is going to be committed to. So he gets able to find one, but Sayonara backfilling that space, cleans up the kill. Spike now going to be in hand. Profit far enough forward to be able to hear this backpedal. Double approach, looking to try to close him out. Intercepts one. The Operator, maybe a cursed weapon, as no one is able to connect with shots on this one. They get picked apart, and Vitality just continue to steamroll their way through this map.
Again, the recoveries from Vitality are just too good. You get that man advantage again as KC. Right here, what a little stutter step from Aves. Then Chronicle and Sayonara get to work. Sayonara is just too good today. Everything he sees is a beach ball.
15-5-2.
There.
Still holding on to this pit because hasn't really needed it.
No.
That B site round win, the second one for KC. Maybe the one opportunity could have really sent that one through to try to secure the round, but either way, have not needed these ultimates to really find success. They're just winning out in the macro strategy in the aim department.
DOS9
flips the net a bit, but it looks like they're still very suspicious. Yeah, Ping is coming down on stairs. They know that somebody could have scaled past that wall.
Confirmation with the boombot.
Oh, it still gets the tag. Tell them everything they need to know, but no, Profit is still going to get caught off guard. Durka now trying to just re-swing in here, and DOS9, he dispatches them with ease. Still pinned into the corner, but Sugetsu peels back out of the pressure. Chronicle dead. It's 3 players all picked apart here at stairs.
I'll find you.
Vitality just going in one by one, and DOS9 continuing to profit for it. Third kill found, a third round found. Carmine Corp with an opportunity to try to take this up to 4. We'll at least get the 3 with this round win.
Kind of curious there. if it was going to be a commit from Sayonara. I mean, you've got the money that you probably could, and instead just wants to go try and hold on to this. A little bit extra armor going into this next round, but we'll be able to drop a gun over for Yampi. And this all came down to a boombot that kind of fooled, you know, Vitality there. You're absolutely right. It does trigger onto DOS9, but because he's able to TP around that corner, it disengages and keeps going. And I think that made them think that he had fully left that space. And Durka, again, just not really on point today. First one on a Prophet, okay, whatever. But this one right here,
it's just so aggressive.
Yeah.
No, honestly, don't think you need a timeout call here, but certainly during the halftime break, one of the things that's going to be discussed is, just pump the brakes here. I mean, obviously, you're going to be moving over to the attacker side. You're going to be playing that at a very different pace. But, not getting antsy, not getting overly aggressive. Certainly something that Vitality will be hearing from Pal.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen that, especially here on Lotus. They've been at their best when they're patient, when they're, relying on their own individual protocols and not trying to make plays that aren't there for them. Certainly, Vitality has made their bones. One away from a showstopper here for Durka. That is a big consideration, and Sayonara wants to try to lock out this C site.
On timing, on a sense. Sending this out, and that allows for Durka to repivot back over to B. Can even have that lean potentially from Chronicle. Still sticking around on C for now. On the one. Vitality starts shifting over towards A, because that's exactly where the spike is going. Prowler out, Yampi now having to backpedal. The Prowler just going to be chasing him all the way back over to the side. Narrate going to be spotted out, but it gets the shot through. Look at damage there.
That Prophet had an opportunity, just hit the spray to go.
They're thinking, well, they won't suspect another player slot into this position. They do, though. C's is going to go out, and Durka swings in, takes one, but he is going to be eliminated. That means the showstopper cannot come into play in this round. Cap of the fuse just around the corner. Chronicle, quick timing. That might just be the round. Couple seconds remaining. We'll be able to recover this one. Sugetsu pushing forward. Able to find the barrel stump, but Sayonara catching a glimpse. Is able to find a raid. Finds Sugetsu. The pit immediately going to be taken down. It's DOS9 now sending out that paranoia, and I don't believe it connected, but the headshot will. KC. Oh, they scrape back as much as they possibly can, making this a 4-8. 4-round deficit for them as we get ready to go into the halftime.
It still didn't feel that comfortable, though. Even these rounds that they're winning are just barely. I mean, again, establishing early advantages that they're often not able to either comfortably or fully capitalize on. It's a huge kind of issue for KC in that half. It's just, are they going to be able to match Vitality with this defender side, brilliance that they just showed us? 8-4 on the defenders in Lotus is really, really damn good.
Yeah.
So now it's just, how much has KC been able to put together here themselves with this chamber comp? Try to shut things down, because their ability to take A main control wasn't that great at times. They weren't really able to find some of those opening duels consistently. I thought I saw some pretty good ideas early from Narrate, but as it went on, really wasn't able to find too much value. Again, good news here for KC is you've kept Durka pretty well in check. The problem is Sayonara has been going absolutely crazy on you.
Yeah, it does feel like he's kind of the final boss here. If you can kill Sayonara, maybe he can win the round. Depends on how many kills he gets before you kill him.
Right.
Couple critical moments here, but like you said, with that chamber in play, perhaps Narrate can come online and give them a little bit more aggression with this otherwise single duelist composition. Play forward, take some risks, claim some heads, and then get that rendezvous out to safety scot-free.
Yeah, it just should be another option in how you control Mound and Rubble. But you have to be hitting your shots. I mean, that is just as basic as it sounds. It is the name of the game when it comes to chamber. Yes, you can have some util, you can have some good rendezvous, some good timings. You have to be hitting those headhunters early. You got to be getting that value. You got to be setting your team up for those early advantages. Getting into those early operators. Life miserable for those attackers. Huge pistol. Must win for KC.
And if they don't, this could be over in the blink of an eye.
They're getting pretty aggressive on a mound and B.
I'll find you.
Chavez, not going to do much other than there's players there.
Ooh. Oh. Hell of a shot. Getsu again, dealing with Durka. Entry power taken out of the equation. Swap of the weapons. Profik wanting that Sheriff. Barrel into Scout. Paranoia ready off the back of that, but will not be sent. Can table it for now.
Trying to sell a bit of a fake here. Our Vitality, but KC isn't biting in the least.
Still went out on these fronts, and if they can do so, they can't, as Chronicle will fall. I was going to say this plays in. Sayonara, who's tucked away at stairs, but he himself now needing to go exploring, ends up getting caught off guard. See, looking to maybe collect the flawless pistol for themselves. Not be trying to continue to drum up this interest. Narrator's not looking behind him, maybe just thinking that this is all going to be a bit of a fake, but
Dropping spike.
does just manage to get barrel stuffed. Obviously, Headhunter, not something that can be recovered, so the weaponry is still very much weaker on the side of Vitality, and they're very much outnumbered. KC can't get this round over the line, then I think they're going to just be completely checked out. And Yumpy, spot on to one. So a little bit of right-click damage to Paranoia. Now going to be sent. He pushes up into the smoke. Is able to find one. It's a one and done. He gets out scot-free. No return fire whatsoever. Suddenly a 2v3. Headshot on Naves. Yumpy finds another, but Sugetsu, oh, he barely bails them out. Gets the 3K, gets the round win, but my God, how did Vitality make it that close?
Well, I mean, it's the teamwork at the very end of the round there between Yumpy and Profik, but my concern with Vitality was actually how that round started. You know, that angle you see held all the time where Sugetsu gets that kill onto Durka, and he's just slow walking through it. I mean, it just makes it too easy for that bandit to get that headshot when your crosshair placement is right where it needs to be. Vitality's probably kicking themselves at the very end of that, but then they spread the map. It's like all these isolated players, and KC's able to take them out one by one. Then finally the teamwork comes through, and Vitality almost able to take a 2v4.
All right, sticking around for a little bit longer, is able to find the one, makes his exit. Levin going to be on the trade.
A Bulldog on the ground.
Durka's going to be collecting that for himself. Jump across into a right-click. DOS9 going to be tagged to 46. His paint shell gets lobbed in, but nothing more to be found off of that. And a rate with the classic, able to find Profik, drops back over towards Waterfall. DOS9 at the same time ready to rewrap back through the site, but Narrate collects another head. DOS9 able to find that kill, and Chronicle will be overwhelmed. Just the one casualty off the rip. Otherwise, KC damn near flawless. Get this now within 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's really nicely played there by Narrate. Even though they dropped that Bulldog, they don't allow it to do anything else. Shut the rest of the round down quickly. Everybody rotating in. Good job. Gets one, leaves. Okay, they get Levin. A little distracted there by the util, by the haunt. And a great Paranoia sees in there too. Layering of the smokes. When those dissipate, Narrate's right on point to take down Durka's Bulldog that he scooped up. Prowler. Firm anything there for Vitality.
The Paranoia out, though.
True.
DOS9 trying to deny any fast scaling into the B site.
How cautious
Too
Vitality wants to be. I mean, they know that Levin wants to get in there as that Neon. Group up, death ball it over towards A here. Prowler going to be cleared by Durka. And start leaning a little bit more towards this A side. 2 players already over towards that door.
4 in total. The door already broken as well. Quick and deadly peaks here. And Sugetsu does have that Phantom. Prowler checking over towards Rebel. Nothing going to be noted, but otherwise no real reason to try to change the player positions here from KC. Still have a trademark situated on B main. Durka locked down a little bit there as Nade's going to be sent out over the helmet. It's going to be Sayonara with a headshot. Able to find Sugetsu and Chronicle. Cleans up Aves as well. Still 2 players nearby enough. They're going to have to try to get through as DOS9 tries to go scaling forward through the smokes, but on this swing, he should be dead, and he is. Chronicle has his number. But not to find Levin. Swings in, will be able to get one, but Durka quickly rescales. Swing around that opposite side, the plant to come through. Great, a Marshal and a Headhunter. See if he can get any further damage. Been spotted out, mollied away. The swing can't quite align it. Sayonara will strike him down. Vitality not allowing for KC to get the bonus conversion. They hold him at bay, still a 3-round lead.
It didn't feel that comfortable there for Vitality for a moment. You know, when their presence got revealed at Rubble, that's when KC starts dumping the util on them, but they're able to just hold the line there. I mean, Sayonara this time with a Vandal. He's been using the Phantom for the first half of the map. Goes crazy. Now he's like, I can do it with both. I'm comfortable either way.
Time to change it up. Operator will be brought to bear here by Narrate. The very all-in purchase for them, and if they can't find the round win off the back of this, they are going to absolutely be on struggle street. How Durka's paint shell got there. Maybe wanted to just check back Rubble. Either way, it is clear.
Toxin screen down.
Push her right to this wall. Slotted in right alongside the door, but it's a double stack waiting for them here in this angle. The Prowler will go to scout it out. Durka swings in, however, and he's able to find one. Sayonara gets the other. A 1-2 punch from Vitality to try to knock out KC. DOS9 tucked away behind the box. Will be able to get the jump, but he similarly will get caught off guard. Sayonara just tucked in there at upper. Spot of the one, gets himself a wallbang shot, but Sayonara still alive for the moment, but Narrate with the quick draw down will be able to clean him up with a Headhunter, but they're outnumbered. A lot of this now rests on the shoulders of Aves. If you cannot find a kill from here, both likely need to try to go for the save, and for that reason, oh, they just send out the Nightfall, see that trail, and Chronicle follows it to find the kill. Now backpedaling away. Cash here on the side of Vitality. They want this gun out of his hands. Humpy with the right read. Narrate dialed in on the angle. Can he hit the shot? Swinging out a little bit wider, and no, Yumpy will get aligned, will get the shutdown. The Operator lost, and Vitality up to 10.
Just the individual form of Vitality. Chronicle and Sayonara, really damn good. This is, you know, somewhat of a fair fight there for Levin and Sugetsu, but they just get outdone. DOS9 again, taking these unusual positions, but little did he know, Sayonara already up in towards top mid there, and yep, that was basically round over, and KC needs to take another time out here to talk about it. Vitality hasn't had to use any of theirs yet.
That's the final call. Burn that first one after the 5-round win streak that Vitality accrued at the start of this map. All in gamble to try to turn the tides of this. It is still recoverable. You're only down by 4. Feels like right now Vitality is going to have every answer to every question gets thrown their way.
I mean, I will say Vitality is giving a few opportunities over to Karmine Corp, but they're not able to, again, fully capitalize on them or really kind of lock out some of these rounds where they have huge advantages early without taking a bunch of damage themselves. And you can see it in the kill count. Narrate, DOS9, 10 kills each. That's max. Sayonara has double of both of those players. More than double. Now you're back on another eco. Got that Headhunter. Sayonara going to go for the Outlaw. In this corner. Keeping this very, very quiet. Our Vitality. They haven't made a peep just yet. Maybe they try to make a little noise on the way out to see if they can bait for that Outlaw a little bit. Sayonara just going to do it himself. Sound. Seeing if anybody from Karmine Corp. Usual position, taking a risk.
Rays are looking for the chamber up on that position. Wow. Speaking of which, no rain. Just fast enough to be able to get away. DOS9 similarly. Now having to backpedal out using that TP. Gets the reposition. Sayonara looking to be intercepted here, but no, it's just too fast on the draw. 11 will fall. Considering that scale forward instead is watching for a flank that will not come through. He'll be sent out. Snakebite going to be layered in, just trying to hold him in position. Narade trying to find anything, trying to be the hero, but he will fall. DOS9 going to be taken down at the same time as now it's just Sugetsu and Aves left standing. They're here on the seaside. They're trying to shut them down, and okay, pack it up. It's a flawless, and I think that this is done.
The bunny hop, I'm going to assume is a no-scope with the Outlaw. Just a little.
I mean, he was moving either way.
It's icing on the cake. That's very true. I mean, this one right here, the quick scope.
It was a no-scope when he was just midair. And they're just having a little giggle about it.
Oh, my.
24-9-4. 2 more rounds to go for Vitality. Showstopper back online. Durka says, well, maybe the operator will work when I'm attacking.
Yeah. And I've got a showstopper in case, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no. Swapped over. They had enough money. Maybe they just bought both.
Could have done.
Suspicion is, but we'll see. Narrate does have the tour de force. Long 8. Again, not really feeling confident right now to try to take that rubble space early. A lot of times you'll see the Chambers maybe go by the door and see if they can cheat up. Playing extremely safe. Has that rendezvous over back towards spawn to get out.
Sending it either the connector or even into tree. So this is a very passive level of play.
Yeah, I mean, you can dodge some of the early util. You might be able to catch them kind of not considering this angle, but you know, if they're just waiting for the toxic screen, you're not really going to get good opportunities, I feel like, from this spot as Narrate. Have to wait and see.
Up or out. Durka, can he find anything? Forward, nothing spotted yet. Sees there at Narrate's feet. Showstopper just going to be sent towards upper. No one there to receive the damage. Same time, making his exit, re-wrapping towards stairs, and Durka looking for a potential flank position. He will hear these rotations coming through, and he's able to find one. So gets going to be taken out as Chronicle finds 2 at stairs. It's 11 and DOS9 now to try to prevent this from going up to to match point at that. As this is like a nigh impossible task. The pit is there. The spam not connecting. Except on 11. A bit there on the approach. The overdrive to try to fish is going to be rewarded for 1. Yumpy to be struck down, but the remaining players still not scouted out, still not spotted. The push forward. Chronicle will be found. Also able to find one, but Sayonara greets him with that shorty, and that's Levin now packing it up, rotating out, trying to retain his weapon. Vitality will move up now 12-6.
And Sayonara goes down to the spike, but that's okay. Plenty of money there for Vitality. Just super smart, super aware stuff here from Vitality. Kind of slowly taking this space, realizing where Narrate might be. The Seas lands right at his feet. They're able to clear out the danger of that tour de force early. Get yourself into this pit. You know, kind of recognizing that there's a pretty good chance the Chamber is going to be on his own. You can scale forward off the back of that. Durka's going to send a bit of a fake towards B to gain some space that way. Just completely force KC in towards their spawn. Set yourself up for that pit. Basically lock the round down, and now you're confident, you got a steel guard, and just send it.
Yep, just storm their way forward into the B side. The trademark now going to be cleared out. The end is nigh. Okay, Paranoia will go across, will connect.
Whoa.
The 2 players are going to be taken down. Sayonara just trying to play statuesque inside of that smoke. Back across Prophet here at upper, making his presence known, but it's going to be Sayonara. Not able to find the one as Aves will fall. Durka now getting on the scene, pushing his way forward through the connector, and Project just a hair off with his spam, but Durka able to still strike. Finds Sugetsu. Boombot now to try to further scout as DOS9 is going to be taken down. Levin able to pull off of that defuse, finds himself a second, and Sayonara is going to be taken down. Levin coming away with a massive 3K to keep Carmine Corp alive, just their heads barely above the water, because they need 5 more off the back of this clutch to try to send this into overtime.
Well, he's had a couple nice ones today, has Levin. That's another one into the books, but again, you start to feel like it's too little too late. Who knows? Still another round where you get a huge advantage early. Yes, it's a quick plant from Vitality, but then you get 2 fast kills and it's 3v5. You should be no problem at all. And then Sayonara, Durka, everybody's swinging around from angles they're not ready for. Levin very ready for this final layer here, though. Just barely.
That's Vitality, getting a little bit frazzled, which we have rarely seen from them, but it has cropped up a couple times in this round.
Sure.
That first death goes over to Levin. You don't need to be swinging one by one. You know that he hasn't gotten the hold up to half on that defuse.
It's true.
Could have pumped the brakes, played together, but wanting to try to bring this one to an end. Prophet now going to be overwhelmed, but Durka's there to try to peel one back. Gets that kill. A 1-for-1 exchange so far. Durka also going to be eating a bit of damage, so overall, KC still coming away favored.
The rotations thought about, but no full commit here from Vitality, so have to go into more of a default setup. Spreading the map a little bit. Sugetsu back over to the other side. Meanwhile, one-way setup for DOS9, and he's going to be able to gain a lot of info here, so they're already cheating over is Aves. Like this from KC, they've got a really good idea of what's going on in this round right now.
They read narrate is the big question. He's playing in front of the wall. The jump peek out. He gets a headshot, and he finds himself a second, and he gets out scot-free. Sugetsu continuing to fill this space, comes away with the final 2 eliminations, and Carmine Corp still hold on by a thread. 4 players surviving helps bolster the economy as they need 4 more rounds.
A nasty stuff there from Narrate. Really good macro for KC. See this the whole way through. Use that early aggression to gain a little bit of space, gain a little bit of info, gain a little bit of map control. Now your players hit some good shots along the way. Sugetsu with that Guardian. Good for the final 2. I wonder if we're going to see a timeout. Yes. Yep. I think this is a great time to take one. Don't give them any more chances, any more opportunity.
There's enough going on that Pal's like, okay, boys. Let's let's slow things down a little bit here. Let's have a quick chat and try to just bring this one to an end.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe just, I think what you might see a little bit here, maybe potentially from Vitality, is okay, let's be a little bit more cautious at the start of the round. Let's not let some of the neon chicanery get into us and just do anything. But, I think that's some of when Vitality's at their best, is when they're kind of reacting to what their opponent's doing to them, when they can rely on those individual protocols, the team play that has really gotten them over the line in a lot of these rounds.
1 from a Nightfall, 1 from a Showstopper. Have a bit of a half investment here from Vitality. Pulls a Sheriff, a Bandit. Chronicle just going to be sticking with the El Clasico. Levin looking to take some forward space, and that is an instant headshot as Prophet will fall. Nightfall having them both contained back around the corner, but Levin not looking to overstep. This is great restraint being shown at the moment here by Carmine Corp.
They're trying to use the boombot against him. Trying to drag it out, make them think they can swing that angle. Trying to set up a bit of a firing line. Cute little play from Levin. Find too much value. Still, though, another nice start for KC.
Now 4 players clustered here on B. Just leave Levin watching that angle into A main. Carmine Corp, from this point, should be feeling pretty confident to at least just give up the space and get a solid retake onto the C side. But tap of the door in the rain, able to backpedal away fast enough, clears that corner. Only a minor amount of damage going to be suffered. And he's reaggressing. He's looking for more. It's quite unfortunate that he's not able to find anything off of that.
And now you got to worry about the Showstopper. What in the world? Neri doubles down.
Oh, he just keeps going back in. Just tapping the door over and over again, keeping it revolving. Finds that elimination. Sugetsu going to be traded at the same time, but so it's still a player advantage. Now expounded upon us. DOS9 with a critical shot. He's able to find Chronicle. Happy now, dead Durka. The last one standing, and what a clutch this would be. Finds the first, it's the up and over, the drop down onto the side. DOS9 is trying to play with his food, but Durka locks in for that shot. Swing in the corner, cannot find that fourth, because you'd be damn certain that Showstopper would have been flying. A solid effort, but a solid enough retake here by Carmine Corp, who are now just 3 away from overtime.
Okay. I mean, they're getting there. Still never feels quite comfortable, but Do find their moment. Neri plays that nicely around that door, keeping Vitality guessing. Is he not? This first shot from Levin. Ooh.
This has been the start of the last 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
Able to have those added smokes, not being able to have those paranoias, but oh, good Lord, Durka.
That was absolutely ridiculous. All right.
Still has a show.
Hello.
Still have this Nightfall.
Hello.
Big ults here. Prophet has his as
Hello?
well. Could be
Hello,
one of
can
those
you hear
ones where you try to use this Nightfall to
Do you
TP.
hear me?
Looking for just a 3-2-1 here, but will
It's your brother back.
goes out.
He is not back. No. No. Okay.
And now they're
Is it taking its phone out?
left.
Yes, I believe so.
I received some message. Please help me. I want to know, Evali, what is going on, please.
Finds the first. Down to 47, the regen shield.
You understand?
Both players playing stacked together behind the boxes there.
Do you guess what I told you to buy for him?
Where they could have banned out to. It's going to be a 3-2-1.
So, is he eat that egg?
13-9 Vitality. Come out on top of the regional rivals in
I need to check.
They take them down.
I did.
Their opening series here at EWC 2026.
Okay.
Just
Later
really
then.
sturdy, steady stuff. A new look on Haven for Vitality. Same old on Lotus. A very good map for them, as we have come to know this year. And Vitality get the job done.
Some signs there from Carmine Corp, some individual glimmers and glimpses, but widely left in the shadow of Vitality. Just looked a cut above on both of these maps here today.
Sayonara, man.
I mean, just so good across both of these, but a Chronicle at the start of the Lotus. Incredible impact from him. Darka with that attempt at a clutch at the very end. It's what we always talk about. It's what the desk was talking about. When the team is on, all of these players, every single individual on this squad is so damn deadly. While Prophet had a very rough last couple of rounds.
Started well on
he
Haven.
Started incredibly well on Haven. So a big win here for Vitality. Carmine Corp going to have to try to look to rebound back. But for now, let's go ahead and pass things over to get the thoughts from our analyst desk.
Thank you very much, guys. And yes, it is Team Vitality living up to that super team moniker and getting the job done in the battle for France. The Bees take down the Blues 2-0 here as we welcome back our analyst Kukuka and Big Time. And, you know, it just seemed like it was always a little bit too little, too late from Carmine Corp. You saw there at the end starting to heat up all the guys, but individually there was no one that could stand up to Sayonara, who was just on fire, almost doubling the lead in terms of kills in the lobby.
I mean, I think the lead just got too big for Vitality. They started this map so hot when you were up that 6-0, 7-0. The mountain back to climb there is just so large. I think KC put in a good effort. This wasn't a terrible map from them at all, considering how strong Vitality are at it, but ultimately it's not enough. They are now in the kind of elimination scenario. They lose one more game, they will be going home here from EWC on their home turf. We want to see an improvement from them for sure. It is possible. It's a tough opponent. It's a tough group that they find themselves in, but credit to Vitality.
Improvement, I think it's still possible for the side of KC. Do not forget where they're coming from. Incredibly low lows, and things take time to polish and to get out there. This is, we're saying, is the best practice you can get anywhere in the world. For then you go back into EMEA with Vitality. This is what we were expecting, right? Like throughout the year, they will start ramping and ramping and ramping to have probably the best end of the year that they've ever had.
Yeah, and again, these wins could have been even more dominant had Vitality closed out a little bit faster. This is a skill set that we want to see from this team to ascend from a very good team with high potential to being world champion level squad, because all the firepower that's there. We see the kid that's being put in position to win. Chronicle, who's just anchoring for everyone else. It has been so fantastic to watch them. But when you're supposed to beat a team, put them away so that they don't start having those runs back. Because if you do play against Rex, NRG also in your group. That could be something that could be punishing later on.
Yeah, we're still waiting, right, to see who is going to be Vitality's opponent for the group of death. So I guess we'll have to wait until the end of the day.
All right, well, Gennaro is standing by right now with an interview from one of the players from Vitality.
Congratulations, starting things off pretty strong here at EWC with a 2-0 against KC. Another day in the EMEA office, it feels like.
Yeah, we are the EMEA merchants. We only beat EMEA teams, so again, same job.
All right, you have opponents coming up next who are most likely not going to be EMEA. We have NRG right now playing Paper X. Is there any one of these teams that you want to go forward and play against?
I think no matter what, it will be a good game. Either PRX will get revenge for London, or NRG, a team that we've never played before and former world champion, so will be exciting.
When it comes to the expectations for this event specifically, what do you have in terms of placements? Because you guys had top 4 placement in London. Are you looking to beat that, or what else?
Yeah, we're always looking to improve. We always want to go higher and higher, so now a top 2, a top 1, whatever is higher than top 1 will be, than top 4 will be better.
Okay, and when it comes to preparation from your side individually, when it comes to competing again in this international so closely after Masters London, what have you been focusing on?
Just my individual form. My individual form has been very bad in my opinion recently in London and stage 1, and I'm looking to be myself more and enjoy myself more, so I think kind of succeeded against KC and hopefully will be better against next opponents.
When you're talking about your individual form, what do you think is impacting it the most? Is it things inside the server or outside?
Inside the server I'm fine, because decision making will always be good from my side. I think it's a bit more outside the server, a bit how I do my stuff and how my setup works and that type of stuff.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations once again on the win. That's it from us over here. We're going to be heading back over to the desk. Digon, take it away.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Sayonara there. Knowing the current moniker that the team has, EMEA Merchants, and they're going to have to go up against a big test. Yeah. And he's ready for either one, whether it's revenge or the first time facing NRG.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to be feeling good if you are this Vitality team. Yes, you didn't quite lift that trophy, but it was a good performance in London, especially compared to what we saw before. A strong opener today carries that momentum forward. We know that they have the capability to not only top this group, but lift this trophy. And also, we know how important that is for the organization. They finished 3rd last year in the Club Championship, so if the Valorant team can go on to big highs, that's massive for Vitality overall.
Especially here in Paris, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But also, we need to think of how honest he was. Sometimes I don't know if he's mad when he says, like, oh, we're the EMEA merchants. Like, yeah. Yes. I'm sorry, like that's what you've been doing. But
that's
no,
what those are the narratives, right?
He's just like that. But I like to hear that he can really pinpoint what he's been working on. You know, when the players give like wishy-washy answers, I'm like, you haven't thought of that, and that is worrying. Like if I ask you, you know, what you think is wrong, you can like evade the question if you don't want to point at. But the fact that he is like, no, I know that it's in this area and this area, and this is what we need to focus to get out of the group. And as he's saying, it doesn't matter who he's going to be playing. We're playing to next because it's going to be an absolute banger. Yeah,
let's take a look at those highlights from the last map. Again, Sayonara going at like 278 ACS in the first map, then moving on over to Lotus and dropping 312 ACS. He was again
he's just
on
getting
another
better.
level.
He told you, he felt like he was not performing to his level, but he is ready to deliver here in EWC. Gives me a little bit of XLG vibes, where it's like, oh, we finished in last, but then we go into the next global event and we double our performance. We go 5th, 6th. He was saying it. Top 4 in Masters was not enough.
I mean, I feel like Sayonara's story is so amazing from being, have such expectation on his shoulders from such a young age before he was even old enough to play. Now he's coming in here to EWC looking to claim this title. He wants to win that MVP. He wants to be that Rookie of the Year. And my goodness, does he have the capability to do it if he keeps playing how he played today.
Yeah, again, a huge victory here for Vitality. Their star player online, Durka, getting himself in the action as well. It felt good for them to build upon this.
There was some Durkin time. I felt like there was some, what I really liked about this that is different to what they have showed sometimes in EMEA is that playing together, the doubles, the reciprocating when someone's speaking, the picking with it, the synergy that they definitely had to work on a lot, Deegan. Like, they've come a long way. It's been a long year for them. And on the other side, we have to be realistic with KC. Yes, that Haven went the one that it went. Yeah, it was a 13-8, but do not let the score trick you. Casey did win both pistols. Like, those numbers that keep adding on to you. And it was I feel like we can all agree the Vitality was in control of that map for the entirety of the time. When we move on to Lotus, though, I think that Nare did a very good job. I think that Levin is getting better and better at the Neon. It's an ongoing process. The best thing about these players is that I know that they will focus on themselves and not on the fact that they just lost, because they're kind of used to it at this point. I'm sorry to say it, but it is true.
Big time.
They're already over it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but agree. I mean, I feel like they've faced adversity. That's a good way to put it. What is a little more for them? What is the story? If they win cleanly, that's not how they want to do it. They want to make it interesting for the fans. So they're not out yet. Still have a chance to get themselves out of this group.
All right, that is Group A and Group B done and dusted with their first matches. Obviously, Paper Rex and NRG currently doing battle on the B stream right now. That also means tomorrow we get to see the first set of action here from Group C and Groups D. Here on the A stream, we have AGAL versus the reigning game champs in Los Niños Team Heretics coming on back, and then we'll close out the day with G2 versus Nongshim. What are your thoughts on those matches?
I mean, I think
You
they're
go
good
for the
matches,
second
man.
one. Go for the second
Look,
one.
yeah,
I'll take the first one, you go for the second one.
Okay, you go first then if you're doing the first one.
Okay, so all of the gamers, they were surprised at the beginning of the year. They got their win against Gentlemates, and let me tell you, when Gentlemates came back to EMEA, they were traumatized. They could only think about all gamers, and I know this firsthand, so trust me when I say this, I think that Fangio is going to be absolutely amazing, and they are a fearless team. For Team Heretics, Neil, their coach, is not here, but so saying reigning champions, Sunset is back, so everything is on their favor, and this should be the most comfortable ground for them.
Yeah, I mean, that second game, G2 against Nongshim. Can G2 bounce back from what happened to them in London, seeded ahead to the playoffs, and then they crash out? Not a great look from them. And then Nongshim did it the hard way through the qualifiers. Will Danby stay on the Neon? Please, Danby, if you can hear me, lock the Neon, please.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Big time, we'll go ahead and see if that request happens for Nongshim Red Force. The action starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. local time with Los Niños against AGAL. Y'all, a great day number one, and it's just the start of EWC 2026. On behalf of everyone here, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for more Valorant action.
Oh.